Shorty looking mad fly, had me captivated when she walked by. I'm serious, she had me feeling this tingle, son. Stimulated conversation after mingling. Honey was jingling and stretched jeans looking clean. Appearance would enhance any scene. I mean, feel me, really. I know it sounds silly, but looking at her was like puffing on a fat fillet. Relaxing, she had this natural attraction. She started laughing when she saw my reaction. Oh my. Passed the name and number to the cell. Asked for mine, I said it's Otis, last name is Bell. Also known as the O, the B, the 3, the A, the S, the T. It's me, obese, and you get high. Then I'm your guy.
If I got the high, you got the draw, you can make this track go. If I got the high, you got the draw, you can make this track go. If I got the high, you got control, you can make this track go. If I got the high, you got control, you can make this track go.
Slow burn. Say what you want, just be blunt, I can stand the pain. Take a ride on the great airlines, I promise you'll be glad you came. The fire in your eyes make wetness between your thighs. You say you never blow, I eliminate your disguise. Underneath your green exterior, I gaze. Exploration of your brain leaves me in a purple haze. I see consent as my morals continue living. I just like to engage in a little oral tradition. So pardon my unorthodox approach that blazing luscious. That's just the way I roll. Lick the split before I stuff it. You like it hot, I got enough smoke to choke the average throat. But tonight I'm trying to go a little deeper. Loving the feel of your lips, taking drags off this gas, just puff and never pass. I'm your high value reaper.
I got the high, you got the draw, you can make this track go. If I got the high, you got the draw, you can make this track go. If I got the high, you got the draw, you can make this track go. If I got the high, you got the draw, we can make this track go.
I'm chilling in my room on this night. I got something tied up in the shower, am I right? A friend in the negligee smiling and she rolling up. Every once in a while looking up, saying, girl, hurry up. She placed her gaze back up on and took a deep sigh and said, I'm so home. You want a drink? I said, yeah. And while she walking to the table, she asked him what I think. I like the way your lips talk, I like she pout. And that ass got my little man shouting. She kinda giggled, oh, you like what you see before I can answer. I heard, hey, what about me? I turned around, she got a pose with no clothes, with her leg up on the chair, with her hands on his toes. She said, don't speak, just lay back on the bed. Said something about WH. You heard what she said.
If I got the high, you got the draw, we can make this track go. If I got the high, you got the draw, we can make this track go. If I got the high, you got the draw, we can make this track go. If I got the high, you got the draw, we can make this track go. Back and forth, we 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 go. Back and forth.
Now you won't catch me going back and forth unless it's to and from the bank. I never do back and forth with a hate mad nigga or a bitch who said I can't. I smoke loud, the strongest dank. It's up with me, what the fuck you think? Drip too hard, they all gon' drown. The nigga try me, he walk the plank. Chef Boyardee with the cook up. If you think shit sweet, nigga, good luck. I be all in the mix like potluck. Kettle corn, believe I pop up. Bubble rap nigga mad wanna pop us. Go hard, the shit too easy. If it ain't about cash, fuck that back and forth, cause it don't please me.
Back and forth, we go. Back and forth, we go. Back and forth.
Ain't no tennis court around this way, little mama. I don't do that back and forth shit. That move. Dig this. Why would I go back and forth with niggas broken, hella jealous? Why would I go back and forth with bitches wrong and overzealous? So you out here running your mouth like we connect. That's how you tell it. Only time we back and forth is when I'm in it out your pelvis. Why would I back and forth with a cat-bad nigga who just ain't built like that? Why would I back and forth when I'm knowing off top his top, I feel that back? Why would I put myself on a low nigga level? Bitch, I wish I would. And why would I back and forth when they all about drama and I just keep shit hood?
Back and forth, we go. Back and forth, back and forth,
We go.
back and forth.
Baby, I don't back and forth over that mediocre shit. I ain't even that athletic, really.
Back and forth,
We be back and forth on the road, back and forth doing shows, back and forth switching gold, back and forth switching hoes. Solid niggas never fold. Back and forth to the trap, back and forth switching straps. You can miss me with that acting. They be trying to catch me lacking, but it won't happen. UPS a nigga packing. Ayy, don't back and forth if it's irrelevant. They know I'm a threat and it's evident. Got your bitch showing me her measurement. Only real niggas at my residence. Yeah, it's up and it's stuck like it's supposed to be. About to bag a bitch like some groceries. Now he mad, she wanna get close to me, cause she know I don't do all that.
back and forth, we go. Back and forth, back and forth, we go. Back
Only time I ever go back and forth about my motherfucking paper. It's my money and I need that shit now. You dig? I don't back and forth like ping pong. That shit there just too extra. I don't do that back and forth with a nigga who down bad and I'm next up. Like a bodybuilder, I flex up. Made a hobby out of running checks up. No condiments need to catch up. Do it big like I'm from Texas. Go back and forth, I doubt it. I hustle, stack it, then count it. Make a boss up with your bitch ass, big red nose. He clowning. That money boosted my ego. I'm going crazy like CeeLo. Try to play with me, I go Devo. Never go back and forth with the zero, nigga.
Bitch, I'm back. About to get racks on racks, but I gotta be careful what I say. These niggas be racks on racks. I don't know who all my enemy is. Some people like to pretend that if you bring you in, you got smoke, go that in the wind. Paper first, then fall on the yacht. I already got my circle that's smaller than a dot. But if I have to call my cleaner crew, they gon' be with my. So by the way, I can't forget to mention, please don't be my eyes. We had to act like we stopped. On the cool, on the low, we still water whipping up pots still, water whipping up knots still, water whipping up whole thing. We cold, man, for sure, man. One calling they soul, man. Me and E changing up channels. Ooh, my bad, we ain't got manners. Man, this game getting discounted. There's some shit niggas can't handle. We don't fuck around with rounders. We can stay strapped like sandals. Burn these haters up like candles. Got them open. They looking and they watching and they stupid. Tripping how we moving like the ocean. We got motion. Big boys when we talk, big stepping on these niggas when we walk. We got motion. Big boys when we talk, big stepping on these niggas when we walk. We got motion.
I'm blowing big on the beaches of Honolulu, watching the Pacific Ocean while thinking on how to do it. I bring beef, customized how you want it. Ain't no order too big or small for my opponent. I'm chasing paper like these hoes chase weed. My profit margin out the window, something that you can't see. I hear the whispers, empty flows no more. I'm like the ocean with its currents, where that flow gon' go. I got a fetish for standing in the sand, getting brain from something foreign or chilling than you pretend. These niggas sick because I fuck with bad bitches, and their mindset is to help me stack up on my riches. Connected to moves, to mad switches, interchange the situation from living from rags to riches. Big voices when we talk, hot stepping on these niggas when we walk.
We got them open. They looking and they watching and they scoping. Tripping how we moving like the ocean. We got motion. Big boys when we talk, big stepping on these niggas when we walk. We got motion. Big boys when we talk, big stepping on these niggas when we walk. We got motion.
Welcome to another episode of MZ Talk Boxing. Well, I guess y'all seen the title. Hell, even I need Eddie Hearn exposed for line, Brian Norman, that situation. I hear that damn it, my boy who got cut upside the head. Tim Zoo, I hear he got a fight lined up coming around the corner. I feel you, D-Lo. Appreciate that. He said I'm gonna catch the playback in the morning, but wanted to say what's up to the fam. We appreciate that. Let me start off by saying salute. H Money came through. Salute to my brother Trey X in the house. Gil Cole's following through, saying salute OG. And as you know, we saw D-Lo come through and drop off on us real quick. So yeah, tonight we're gonna discuss a few things like that. You know, I know you guys got some boxing news and some boxing fights because I didn't get a chance to see any of the fights, but I am working on that. I am working on something that came across my my attention, where I got a situation where I may be able to get every fight, no matter if it's pay-per-view or what, every game, basketball or football. So I will be able to expand and not miss any more fights unless I'm asleep. Well, with that being said, I've been listening to Eddie Hearn on different interviews talking about how the Normans are tripping. I don't know what he even said to the Ennis group, but the interview where he said that he had offered them their first offer. You know, they always like to say, "Oh, it's gonna be the most money this person ever made," and all that stuff. And he said that he offered them upwards over $1 million. And Brian Norman's dad was speaking about that. And salute to the champ. Damn, my mind is just tripping tonight. Zab Judah, who asked him a question. He said, where Eddie Hearn said this, and I think he said at one point something. Did he ask that? You know, he had to ask Norman that a couple of times, but then Norman said, yeah. But he also followed up by saying Eddie Hearn's first offer was only like $750,000 or something like that. Now, my thing about that is when it came back to Eddie Hearn, the first thing he started saying is, oh, these guys don't know how to negotiate. And he never said it wasn't true. Brian Norman's dad made some good points by saying, first of all, his son is a champion now. You know, I don't know how true it is about champions have a certain minimum that they would like to reach when it comes to a fight. And he got to speaking about hitting the $1 million mark and putting him in a different tax bracket and all that. I understood where he was coming from and what he wanted for his son out of the deal. And him saying that he was asking for $2.2 million, that way the son can, you know, Junior could pay for everything you need to pay for and walk home as a millionaire from that fight. Nothing less, nothing more. Which I can understand that and what he was saying about it. And then he went on to say that Stanionis got offered a certain amount, and Mario Barrios, I believe he said that Mario Barrios was offered the $2 million that he was asking for. So therefore, the money is there. The money could be paid to have made that fight. I'm still trying to draw the conclusion in my mind of what makes Mario Barrios so special that he warrants $2 million, but Brian Norman Jr., who's a champion, doesn't warrant $2 million. A good, you know, from what I can tell, he fought hard to get his belt. You know, people say he fought for a vacant or whatever, but that man went through the fire to put his hands on that belt. And if the only thing about it is some kind of negotiation tactics that Eddie Hearn is using and coming on and using his slick tongue, his good way of talking to soothe the fans and get them to believe one thing or another, that's crazy. Now, listening to the Ennis's, Bazzi, you know, the most he was saying, you know, it mostly was coming to me from him, the way he was talking, like nobody's scared, you know, y'all know what it is and all this kind of stuff. Well, you know, of course they know what it is. They say they want to fight. But if you guys are through Eddie Hearn, not of their doing, because I believe it's Eddie Hearn who was ahead of the negotiations. If 3 different fighters are turning you down, I just find it hard to believe that all of them are asking for so much money that it's just totally out the window. Especially Brian Norman Sr. said you guys have oh, wait a minute, my brother letting me know something, help clear things up. To be fair, this is coming from Trey X. To be fair, Barrios has done way more than Norman Jr. If they turned down $1 million, they had lost their minds. Whew. Even with everything that Senior stated, now I know it's not up to anybody but them to pay the bills and everything like that when they get paid. But listening to his reasoning and his wants out the situation, he actually wanted to walk away from the fight with $1 million. He was saying that, once the $1 million tax bracket hit, they gonna take like $400,000, and that leaves him still having to pay whatever needs to be paid out of it, and they're gonna tax the whole package before he even started paying anybody. So when I was saying I could understand what he wanted for his son, I do understand on that point. Barrios has been a champion more than one time, because he was a champion at 140. So he's a 2-division champion, because he's also a champion at 147. So I do feel you with that. And if that's Eddie Hearn's logic, then I can understand it. Trey says, yeah, that sounds like a personal problem. It's starting to sound like a duck. Oh, man. So with that being stated, it is a personal problem. Like I said, he made the statement, it ain't nobody's fault about who has to pay. I guess that, you're trying to get a little more out of it. And this is why I like to bring this up, so it can be chopped up in more than one angle. But shit, right now, even the explanation still makes me wonder, why the break still with Stanionis or Barrios? Why neither one of them decided to accept the fight? So we're looking for unification here. Could Brian Sr. be right on his prediction that Boots is not going to be undisputed at 147 because the negotiations might be a little askew? Don't know. We'll have to see. I'll be looking at and see how that ages as time goes by on what he said with that. I just want to see the fight. I want to see if Boots gonna go out there and do what he said. I want to see if he could put him down with a body shot, since it's been leaked by their camp that he put him down with a body shot. Brian Norman never did say that he just got with Boots or anything like that. He gave the props and said that, he was learning and getting touched or whatever, however you want to put it. But if the man say he ready and he's trying to be ready, and if Boots and everybody is really about becoming undisputed, oh, bro, I thought the link was out there. My bad. Give me one hot second so I can put it up. If the really was trying to get to the undisputed, then shoot, why not make whatever move you have to make to get it? I don't know. I don't know who to. I'm in the wrong spot. I don't know who to point that at, honestly. There we go. I could have swore the link was in it. My bad. Let me go ahead and get that taken care of right now, because the door's supposed to always be open. Really? This how it is? Okay, there we go. I don't know who that is. All right, bro. I am currently dropping the link right now. It is there. Kind of lost my train of thought. Y'all forgive me for a second as I recoup my mental and get things going back to it. Yeah. Why aren't the other fighters taking it up? I'm wondering. And I guess time gonna have to tell, or maybe Boots is gonna have to just go ahead and move up to 154 where all the major smoke is. If you can't get it going on with Stan Jonas, Mario, or Brian Norman Jr. sitting around waiting and waiting and waiting. I don't really know what that's gonna do for you. Get this together. Yeah, so my boy Hyphy said it. We should give Brian Norman the $3 million. He deserved it. In the words of Hyphy, there it is right there. He said, just bring much to the table. Give Brian Norman his $3 million. He deserves it so we can make the fight. If that's what it takes to get the fight, let's go on and make the fight. I'm not telling Eddie Hearn how to spend his money or anything, but shoot, am I correct by saying fights have been lost to purse bids lately? Which is crazy. Kind of make you look at Turkey Al Sheik and say, dang, wasn't worried about having no purse bids or anything like that. Come on, promoters over here in the US and from the UK, let's get it together so we can get these fights popping off, so we can so we can give the people what they want. You know what I'm saying? So we can give the people what they want. Yeah, somebody gonna have to help me say his board check, more. Him and TMZ got a fight coming up. I think it looked like his what is it, October 19th? Show my brother, Mr. Wizard. How you doing?
Yeah, salute, man. What's going down?
Trying to wrap my mind around the situation to see, is Eddie Hearn lying to us? The Normans lying to us? Is it a misunderstanding? Are they asking for too much? I see what you say that if they turn down $1 million, they crazy.
Yeah, they done lost their motherfucking mind. So they go out there and get one big win over Giovanni Santillan. Now all of a sudden they decide they deserve to go home with $1 million after all expenses paid, because you went out there and got one fucking win. Like, you were just on the chopping block. You out here having some trouble with fighters like Boca Chica, so they threw you to the wolves. You went out there and beat Santillan, did your thing. We bet on you and everything. Now all of a sudden, you don't want to unify because you feel like you should go home a millionaire after all expenses paid. If they sent $750K as the first offer, that sounds very fucking respectable to me. I thought they were talking about $100K, $250K. I mean, I understand that, but nigga, $750 and then come back with $1 million. Man, please, I'm jumping on that shit in a motherfucking heartbeat. I think they tripping. And let's not talk about Barrios, because Barrios fighting at mid-off at 140. He done been in there with Keith Thurman. He done been on pay-per-view against Tank Davis. He went out there and whooped the shit out of Ugas in his last fight. Ain't no comparison. Ain't no comparison right now. I know he undefeated. It really sounds like they trying to sell that over. Like they trying to get the maximum amount of value for that O. They done been in the ring with the guy. They know how he coming, and they want the maximum amount of value for that O. You know what I'm saying? If that's what it is, I can't respect that. I thought they was coming across like some motherfuckers that want to fight, but they coming across as some niggas that want to cash out. And I can't respect that shit.
So you think it might be a thought in the back of the mind over in that camp that it's a possibility that they can lose? So that's why they trying to maximize on that O?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. I mean, because $750K, $1 million, that got to be a substantial pay jump. I mean, goddamn, that's good money for one fight. You know what I'm saying? Like I think they know that Ennis is a good fighter. Some might say he's a special fighter, and they want to be compensated like as far as that cash out value. You know what I'm saying? Like You saying that shit that done changed my whole perspective on everything. I ain't bullshit. I'm Team Ennis now. If Eddie Hearn done sent them niggas $1 million offer, oh yeah, they got respected for damn sure. I don't want to hear nothing about no tax brackets and all that bullshit, nigga. That's ducking. That's what that sound like. How can I not feel like you ducking and we offered you $1 million to fight me? And you ain't done shit but one significant win. You ain't even got the hype. I ain't even no hype around you. Like Ennis do got the hype. There's a lot of people in boxing think he's special. He doing some things off in his hometown. Hell, most people probably don't even know Brian Norman's hometown. Where is he from? You know what I'm saying? Like, I respect the guy, man. I think he a real fighter. 140 and 22 amateur record, around a half dozen time national champion. A bad motherfucker. I like him a lot. Young. But come on, bro. $1 million ain't good enough. Like, he tripping.
Gil Cole says sound like a duck to me too.
Yeah.
So I guess if we get to screaming about tax brackets, you might as well slide any conversation with tax brackets and the pay for a fight into the duck category.
Yeah, I ain't never heard this reason before. We don't want to fight because after all expenses paid, we want to go home $1 million. And I ain't never heard that shit before. Have you?
I can't say it's the first. That it's original too.
That's original.
Very original.
yeah, them niggas tripping over there, man.
Now you see, I'm trying to swing on both sides just to make sure that it's balanced out and we get a fair shake. But you know, that is what he said. You know, and he's saying it wholeheartedly, and I've seen him on more than one video, and he is repeating it sternly. So this is truly what he believes, what he wants. He say, hey, Hyphy say, hey, put some more grams on Norman's scale.
She done put some more on there. This nigga here trying to go from an 8 to a quarter and shit. Like, no, nigga. I might do you right and get you up to a 4 for your 3.5 money, but we ain't about to go to a whole quarter. Nigga, we started out for $750. You say you want some more grams? Well, we got you up to $1 million. If that ain't good enough, fuck you. Square business.
Whoo, that sounds like it's coming out the kitchen with a conversation like that. That sounds like some whip game going on.
I was thinking about some gas, nigga. I smoke weed, shit. I ain't in the kitchen.
Okay. My bad. I went to the wrong block.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't move no gas. I smoked too much. I was like Smokey. No, I wouldn't. Because Smokey had people chasing him down. I wouldn't on pay for my shit. Yeah. So Hyphy, you feel like the Normans is justified in what they saying. You feel like they should get what they're asking for. Like you put, I don't know about the 3 million. You know, I might be say, yeah, I can say go and try to go for the 2 million. Because I'm pretty sure if that's the first offer that he sent to Barrios could bump that up a little bit if he wants to negotiate. Because I haven't heard they camp make any words, nor Stan Young. Well, I heard Stan Young say something about it. But what the hell? But other than that, you know, Eddie didn't really make a big notion about it.
Yeah.
What the hell? See, we got crazy people. I don't know, the crazy starting to come out. And just so I can let it be known, YouTube stole 1,000+ views from us, man. 1,000+. And it's the second time they did it. I don't know what I did wrong or if I did anything wrong. But I'm like, dang. Kind of hurt.
Did you show some footage?
But anything that I showed footage on, I never got a remark about, you know, a copyright infringement or anything like that. I just went on and you know, roll with that. If anything did say, but this was you know, when it did say that I had something, I cut that out. But this was like way long time ago. This that just happened. I haven't been showing any footage or anything. They just start subtracting shit one day, and I'm looking at it, and I get a message, and then I see some more subtracted with no reasoning.
Yeah.
Hyphy says Norman has the better resume, has to travel to his opponent's backyard, and he and Jaron are equals, 3 to 4 million, or else no motion. That's how you feel, Hyphy. That's the conversation you coming with, because with you negotiating on that end, you sound more gangster than what the Normans is sounding, because they saying they just want 2.2 so they can go home with 1. Which
These
right now is
motherfuckers
starting
got
to sound like quack quack. This would be a perfect time for one of my daughters or my son to text me.
yeah.
Salute to Eric R.
Salute, man. Hey, hit that one motherfucker with a wrench or something. He throwing off my motherfucking thought process.
Mine too. Hey, somebody put that dude to sleep.
Yeah, but he got a better resume. I mean, I think he got the better win. But ain't now one of them got a deep fucking resume. Hell, they ain't got but 2 good wins between the 2 of them. Like, when he say shit like that, that make me start looking at the fight as even more shallow. Like, that's even more of a reason to me that Norm and them need to go ahead and jump on that. Nigga, you got 1 win. You know what I'm saying? 1 win. This nigga act like he putting together a badass resume or something. Like, man, I understand wanting to get paid. This is the prize fighting game. But when the hell did $1 million payday for a man that got 1 win become disrespectful? Fuck the belts. See, that's where everybody want to get caught up in the belts and shit. Nigga, focus on the scalps. I mean, it is what it is. I know Ennis ain't got no big shit going on either, but at the end of the day, he got more hype and buzz and shit around him. It just is what it is. That's part of boxing. You don't. Like I said, do anybody know they hometown? Where they from? Atlanta?
That's what I believe. ATL.
Yeah, see, I just learned that shit. Ain't nobody just super knowledgeable about these motherfuckers, man. How many times they been putting on some big shows out there in Atlanta?
That's not something that happens a lot. Not for fighting. I think
mean,
the last time that they had a big show, I think it was Tank. They went to Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't just the biggest on the financial side of boxing and all that kind of stuff. It just feel like a big slap in the face for all the fighters that I done read about, like Jersey Joe Walcott and shit. Like, imagine somebody coming to Jersey Joe Walcott and offering him not even $1 million, let's say 100,000, and he you think he turning that down? Like, fuck no. Like, these fighters just done got real entitled and shit, man, that $1 million fucking dollars for a young 23-year-old is not good enough now. We need to go home with $1 million after expenses paid. Like, man, that's fucking ridiculous, man. And that's probably why Eddie Hearn already thinking about 154. I mean, it's already thin at 147. Then you got to wrestle with these motherfuckers. Somebody like Norman want this big ass $3 million payday or whatever it is. Like, man, we might as well go to 154. Fuck these niggas. Ain't but 2 or 3 fights over here anyway.
Well, it had been mentioned on this channel before. Prior to this situation coming up, that 154 was a much more prominent spot for Jaron Boots Ennis than 147. For pretty much those reasons. It's popping there. Eric R. say, salute to Eric R. And Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more in the house. Salute to Bruce Gas. He say, right, nobody want to risk for shit. Yeah, you're right, Eric R. These boys, with this conversation that we talking about at the moment, it makes it hard. It makes it look soft. And you know, Hyphy coming around the corner say, y'all scared to fight young black fighters. I don't think that's the case at all with this. And we just having this conversation. You got to look at it on both sides of the gathering, Hyphy. If it is a fact that Norman Jr. would be making the most that he's ever made substantially. I think $750,000 is a good uptick over whatever he had made prior to. But if they offered him $1 million. I'm listening to the fact that, yeah, you were going to hit a different tax bracket, but at the same point, take the $1 million. You just moved your minimum up, at least. At least that's what I would think.
Yeah, I remember when I first saw the interview. Well, not an interview. He was just like in the car talking and shit. Matter of fact, it was an interview. He was on the panel, but he was in the car while he was doing the interview. And one of the guys on the panel asked him, like, what y'all trying to get? Y'all trying to get over 1 million or something, like a 1.5 or something like that? And he said, no, it ain't nothing like that. We just want something that's respectable. So that made me think that they was really getting lowball, like 100K or something. But now come to find out, they really are trying to get up there like that, trying to cash out on one fight after one win and all that kind of shit. Like, nigga, you still got to have a career, bro. Put together some wins, put together some paydays like they all do. Like, you trying to cash out on one fight and then trying to make it seem like the motherfuckers over there don't want to fight. But he did make sure to say a lot. It ain't Bozy, it ain't Ennis, it ain't Jaron. They want to fight. I think it's Eddie Hearn not being up front with them and all this kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? But nigga, you act like y'all don't want to fight unless y'all cashing out.
Ching ching. Joseph Brown said 1.7 million was the other offer.
1.7.
Yeah, 1.7. That's shit. You just right at the corner knocking it even two. That one, I was thinking 1.2, so I was like, okay, I could, but 1.7, that's right there. I'm sure you can go home real happy with that. And like I said, you boosted up your minimum. Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz and More says too many father and sons looking bad in boxing today. Yeah, I can say that. I can agree with that. Bill and Devin took a hard fall. Brian right now they going through something that ain't too kosher because I thought they were the old school type people that's like, yeah, you just put the right money on the table. We ain't asking for a lot. It's going down and we ready to get it done. But no, that ain't what's happening. He say the fathers want to bubble wrap their sons. Oh, not have them out there all protected like that. Joseph Brown says 1.7 million showed us he ain't what we thought he was.
Hell no, nigga, 1.7. Man, that shit made my head start hurting when I seen that 1.7 on the goddamn screen. Nigga, 1.7 and we ain't got no fight? Like, come on, man. Hey, it's different ways to duck, and the price out is an all-time favorite method of ducking. The old price out. And that's what this is. This is a price out duck until further notice. I need to hear them say something that makes sense, because this ain't making sense right here. This ain't making sense right now. Y'all motherfuckers got the opportunity to fight for more money than y'all might have made in your whole lifetime up to this point. Every fucking job you done had put together, and this ain't good enough. All because you got one win over Giovanni Santilli. Yeah, this is a failure. Like, if it's just straight up about business, this is a fucking business failure. And this is a price out duck, is what this looking like.
A straight tobacco. He said, boost head on your resume automatically bump your pay grade up. Yeah, I guess it goes to show how much confidence they really got in themselves. 1.7, you might not walk home as a millionaire, but you'll be knocking at the door.
I don't see why the hell you wouldn't. How much money they taking off that shit, man? Where they fighting at? Where they talking about fighting at? Philly?
They'll be fighting in Philadelphia. I don't know what the taxes are there.
Yeah, I don't either, but goddamn, 1.7. I don't know the percentages as far as the coaches and how much they got to pay for the training camp and the sparring partners and
I would have thought the 700 would take care of that.
That's what I'm sitting over here thinking. Like, God damn, nigga, sound like the 700 should take care of all that, taxes and the training camp or some shit. I don't know. I can't say I got knowledge about that. But
Yeah,
goddamn, man,
I ain't never hit that pay scale.
that don't sound like disrespect to me though. Yeah, because I was on their side. I'm like, man, you know, these guys are champion. They coming off the big win. They deserve some respect, man. And I'm sitting up here thinking like 750K or something. These niggas get offered $1 million more than that, and it ain't good enough. Yeah,
That
man,
boy,
that type of thinking is part of what's destroying the sport. Because at the end of the day, when the sport was at the greatest that it ever was, they wasn't getting paid like that. And I'm not saying that they don't deserve to get paid. What I am saying is the money can fuck off the action. If motherfuckers keep on consistently price themselves out, we're not gonna get big fights. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is.
right? That boy Eric Ross say 1.7 million is nigga, we made it money.
Come on, man.
He said this reminds me of Tevin Farmer's dumbass turning down a tank fight. And here's Hyphy making an argument. He said y'all offer Barrio over 2 million, but won't give Brian a reasonable amount. Y'all always want the black fighters to get shot. Get the short end of the stick. No. First of all, Barrios is the champion at 140 and at 147. Barrio fought Tank on pay-per-view. And who was it? He had that terrible fight where he was bloodied up. Barrio had been in the ring. Keith Thurman, he fought him. So he did some things. He got some names on his resume that could warrant a straight out the gate $2 million offer. And he got negotiation chips because he's done some things. He's actually a 2-time champion in 2 different weight classes. And he also beat up Ugas. Joseph Brown said, regardless of that, he took those other fights for way less. It's dying because shit like this fight, that fight down the line, shit I'm not tolerant from these fighters no more. It's a chance to be in the ring. You get a chance to fight Boots, the phenom, as some people say. Mr. Switch Hitter. Hate that he switch hits so much. Quick, fast. Got Philadelphia bagging him up real big. Gilly the Kid and all those people all on him. Boxers is talking about how good he is and what he got and bring to the table. Fans are clamoring for him to fight Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence. So he got a name. And 1.7, I think that could have got you in the room. You could have went on and took that, and we could have been talking about the fight getting ready to happen. And if you is who you say you are, you would dethrone Boots, unass him of his belt. That way you can go ahead and tell him he can go to 154 and start over and keep it moving. But that's not what y'all chose to do. I was under the impression too, because when it first started coming out, you know, Eddie Hearn just straight said, oh, the first offer was well over $1 million. And then when his dad came out and said, when Norman came out and said that the first offer was $750K, I was like, Eddie lied to us. But then looking at how much more he'd made, and then you come back with 1.7. Come on, man. Made me understand why y'all didn't take why y'all didn't take that.
Yeah, this shit really got me over here kind of pissed off. Sitting up here thinking about this shit. Yeah, this shit they get on my motherfucking nerves, man. It is what it is, though, man. All these motherfuckers want to price themselves out, got to get all these millions per fight. And then, like we was talking about not that long ago, it could even be somebody like Turkey Out of Sheik blowing up the market and having a bunch of these niggas talking about they need 3 million and 5 million and shit for fights. Like, man, I understand you got this is prize fighting. You need to make your money, take care of your family and all that kind of shit. But, man, we got to be reasonable, too. I mean, if you price yourself out so much here, you ain't going to have no big fights. So what if Stan Jonas wanted to fight him or something? How much Stan Jonas and them got to pay him? They got to give him $2 million, too? for a motherfucking unification?
Huh.
Like, oh, that shit don't make sense. Or is it just Boots Ennis that get this special treatment because of how dangerous he is? Yeah, that ain't a good look either.
Far from a good look. And time will tell if he get into it, if he have another fight, which I think they talking about. He gonna take his mandatory, which his dad. What didn't make sense to me is like he was like, we could have this many fights at this much money and come out the same and stay in the same tax bracket. I'm like, so you willing to put more mileage on your son than to just go ahead and take that fight, which would pay you like 2 of those other fights. Actually, all 3 of them.
Nigga,
If
we
you-
don't want to hear about tax brackets and shit anyway. Nigga, we want to hear about some fighting. That's what you bring into the fans. You want to come talk directly to the fans and come talk to us about some motherfucking tax brackets. Like, man, come on, man. This shit is weak as fuck. Them niggas done lost, they done lost all my respect now.
Well, I think this age of information and internet, it helps some of them and it's hurting a lot more because I don't think they realize it on how to really use it. Eddie said 1.7 and Brian Sr. pulled a Bill Haney and been as quiet as a church mouse after Eddie pulled his whole card. Yeah, I haven't heard him coming out saying nothing about a 1.7. Last things I heard him saying was 750 and then 1.2, which shit, that's still missing 500,000. Eric also they tried to squeeze out a payday, then spend 2.5 years on the shelf after pissing the promoter off. Because they go out there and lose. They be living big. They don't really be hungry like that. And I thought Brian Norman I thought he was going to be like that pit bull kind of fighter. That dude just ready to go. Little did I know that the brakes on the Brian Norman train was going to hit this fast before they even really got started. Now I know what I'm saying is not sounding good to Hyphy at all. And he probably going to come back and say something, but it is what it is, man. Right now, they kind of looking like some hoes. Like Craig said like Ice Cube said in NWA movie. Easy, man, you kind of looking like a hoe. You know what I mean, man? You looking like a hoe.
Yeah.
So is it true about Tim Zoo fighting? What's his name? Bull. I can't say the dude's name. I'm about to mess it up. Help me out here, bro.
Murtala Aziz or some shit like that.
Him. I think, however you just said, Mr. Z's, I think he'll be a good fight for Tim to come back, shake off the little
Don't
time
start talking
off.
out your ass because we know you ain't sat down and watched no Murtala Aziz, so let's not do no capping around here.
The last dude he fought was Candle, some shit like that. I watched that fight. I got a small sample of him, so yes, I did. I went in and got a small sample of him. It looked like he got a nice little arm reach. He got a good motor because I saw him trying to knock old boy out, and he shot a lot of shots and still had energy to keep going. He didn't tire out like you see a lot of fighters do when they shoot a lot of shots. They get a little arm heavy and bag off. He kept pushing. Fought, got a good chin. I seen him get rocked a little bit. He was able to overcome that. And if I had to guess, I don't really know how tall he is, but I picture Tim Zoo in the other guy's spot. And like I said, oh boy ate some good shots. He got some whiskers on him. But I think Tim Zoo fights a little more crisper than the gentleman that he was fighting. And I think Tim will end up taking that fight from him. I don't see, him being able to keep Tim from getting to him. Even though he got a nice little arm reach, Tim already showed that he can get through the reach. And I think Tim will work with it. But oh boy, goes to the body, got uppercuts, some nice hard hooks. It looked like everything he was throwing in that fight was meant with intentions behind it. Every punch. That's what I got out of my small sample saving. But I think Tim is a much crisper fighter than the guy he was fighting. I think Tim will beat him.
Yeah, I still got to do my research on the dude pedigree. I haven't been able to find the type of articles that I like. Everything has been kind of vague. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really put him on the scale, but it's not hard to be above Tim Zoo because Tim Zoo only had 40 amateur fights and shit. So he only like a .5 type motherfucker. But that just show you how special he is. He a natural. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to naturals, man, you just can't count them out. Even the fucking pedigree scale kind of go out the window when it comes to naturals. We all saw Anthony Yard go out there and give Kovalev a tough ass fight. A motherfucker that was 192 and 20 or some shit going against a motherfucker with 15 amateur fights. We saw Jaron Ennis go out there and get destroyed by Martin McCauley, a man that ain't got no amateur background. He's just a fucking natural. This past weekend, I had everybody in my betting group fuck their money off because I had everybody take Francisco Verón from Argentina over Brandon the fucking Cannon Adams, the ultimate spoiler. A man with no amateur background. I remember the first time I saw him, he was in the ESPN tournament and made it to the finals and lost against Willie the Worm Monroe, a guy that actually has a deep amateur background, 3.5 on the scale. Brandon Adams just keep on beating motherfuckers that he ain't supposed to be beating. Hell, the fight before his last fight, he went out there and stopped that Villarreal. Ismael Villarreal stopped him with a left hook to the body. That's a 3.5 on the scale. Just a motherfucking natural. You know what I'm saying? So Tim Zoo, one of them type guys. You know, he don't have the background to be doing what he doing, but he just a motherfucking natural. So until further notice, I'm gonna have to go with Tim Zoo in this fight. Unless I go out there and I can find something where this guy's a 4.5 bona fide or some shit like that. Outside of that, I'm rocking with Tim Zoo.
Yeah. From the, like I said, from the sample size of the fight that I watched, and it wasn't even in English. So all I can do is go by what he was doing. He a hard fighter. I give him that. He fought hard. And he stopped the guy in the 11th round. Just beat him into submission pretty much. Hypey said, MZ, you once lived in Georgia, so you already know what those Georgia boys about. Yeah, but every place got those that grow up in those spots. But at some point, you know, the real them come out and look like right now the real them is about that paper.
It's that's not about a boxing region, though. That ain't no boxing region. Being a boxer from Georgia ain't no motherfucking flex. Hell, if I see you come from Georgia, nigga, I'm looking at you with a raised eyebrow. That's what I'm doing. Hell, like Alabama or some shit. Nigga, you come from Alabama, I got a raised eyebrow. They play football down there. Nigga, they ain't boxing down there. Ain't no motherfucking boxing gym on every corner. This ain't the East Coast. This ain't the Midwest, Detroit area and all that shit. Even the West Coast. A lot of good fighters come from the West Coast. That ain't that. Atlanta, Georgia, that's more football. So no, we can't. We don't know how they do. Like I know there have been some real good fighters that have came from Georgia historically, but that's not a boxing hotbed though. I'd much rather have a fighter that come from like the Detroit region, California, East Coast, shit like that. Hell, even if you come from Texas, I look at you with a raised eyebrow because this is football country. But we do have a lot of Mexicans down here, and that's the reason why we have a lot of gyms. Most of the gyms got Mexicans in them. So we will turn up a Bam Rodriguez or something every now and then. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Georgia, nah, we don't know how they do coming out of Georgia.
Well, oh shoot, I almost spilled my water. Yeah, I'm drinking water, bro. I got 2 bottles. I've had 4 today. I've been doing my little sit-up thing. The little crunches you was telling me to do with your hand behind the head. That shit hurt, bro.
You get some ankle weights like I told you?
I got to pick some up. I haven't been able to get done yet.
How you been holding your feet down when you do your sit-ups?
By putting my feet up under the little running thing that I told you to in my room.
You taking the tension off your stomach and putting it on your hip flexors like that. That's why I told you to get the ankle weight. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, get some 20s. Yeah, get some. Well, they ain't gonna have them at Walmart. If you go to Walmart, you're gonna have to get 4 sets of 5 pounds.
Oh shit, I
But
don't want that.
I mean, that'll work too. But it's just easier if you get like 1 set of 20 pounds. They just gonna cost you a little bit. You're gonna have to order them online. But yeah, that's gonna help keep the tension on your stomach and keep it off your hip flexors.
Okay. Yeah. But I just want to let you know I've been working on it. I can't say that the old M is back yet, but it hurt like he coming.
Yeah.
That boy Eric Carr said, okay, Pecos Bill. I don't know when he popped up or what he said, but okay. He said, Hyphy, he got to take the risk, bro. Then he can call the shots. And he said, yeah, Brandon Adams was coming off a layoff, but I still had to ride with the brother. My first time seeing Brandon Adams was on The Contender. I think that's the name of it. That other boxing show they had. That's why I got hip to him at. Because I remember him winning, and the promise was he was going to get to fight for a belt. And I felt like that's how he ended up in the ring with Jamal.
That motherfucker's tough, man. He almost seemed like a Hall of Famer or some shit just for being a spoiler. Like a Hall of Fame spoiler. Like if you look up spoiler in the dictionary, you got to see his face next to it. Like this shit got to come to an end at some point. That's why I bet against him this past weekend. He got a man that's 25 years old. He's 10 years younger than Brandon Adams. Olympian. Bigger man. More active. Brandon Adams only had 4 fights in 6 years. And this man still find a way to win. Ain't no out with the old, in with the new. Ain't none of that shit can stop Brandon Adams. That motherfucker deserves some type of recognition for being a fucking thorn in your side. Spoiler, man. Salute to Brandon Adams, man. Even though he fucked my money off, but salute to him.
Salute to Brandon Adams. Good fighter. I liked his attitude too. He seemed like a pretty good kid. Well, I can't call him. I can't count it because he seemed like a pretty good dude. He said Brandon Adams was working the crowd too, like a local hero.
Yeah, he always had one of them outgoing type personality. Going there with a big smile and fight real hard, throw hard punches, coming up with his costumes on. Like normally he comes to the ring wearing some type of costume, Ninja Turtles or some kind of superhero or something like that. He is a likable guy, except for when he go out there and beat you out your goddamn money. But outside of that, you're a likable guy, man. I like Brandon Adams.
Ivy say taking 1.7 is not taking a risk. That's taking a dummy deal. Why Mr. 5 million Shakur don't gotta take a risk?
He done way more than him too, though. Shakur done way more than Brian Norman. But this ain't a real conversation for Hyphy. Hyphy just like to just say shit to sow seeds of discontempt or some shit. That's what he like to do. Like you can just hear it in his voice. Like if he jump on the panel right now, he gonna say something like, "What do y'all think about Brian Norman Jr.? He did this and did that and did this. What do y'all got to say about that?" Like he one of them type motherfuckers. He just want to come starting shit. He know the shit he's saying don't make no goddamn sense. 1.7 million ain't good enough for a man, but one significant victory. Like he just want to be a fucking nuisance. That's all it is.
How if he say he bringing the homegrown trolling because we don't allow those other ones to come up in here. So yeah. Brian Norman them got to go ahead and do what it is they need to do with all this other nonsense. The fight, I want to ask you about. I don't know if you got a chance to see it with what's her name, Jeannie Fuchs, Fuchs.
We didn't get a chance, nigga. We bet on the fight,
but I didn't get a chance. I didn't see it. Is what I'm saying.
You just said I don't know if you got a chance to see it, and that's a fight we bet on.
Okay, so I'm about to ask you a question about seeing it.
I ain't
know
gonna
what I'm
lie,
saying?
bro, but like in my mind, I be having like a real short fuse when it comes to stuff that I feel like don't make sense. So that's something about me. People that know me in my personal life, everybody know me for that shit. Even my own dad be like, you a real asshole. You know that? You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. If it don't make sense, that shit gets to me quick. But yes, I watched the fight because we had money on the fight. So yeah, I watched the fight.
No, I would. Okay, so I wanted to ask, how good was she fighting with that broken thumb? I saw the injury. And, ugh. I'm like, did she give any inklings that her hand was hurt like that?
No, she didn't give an indication that she was in that type of pain or anything like that. I didn't really see much of a change up. I mean, she was still using the hand, throwing a jab, coming back with the hook off the jab and all that kind of shit. She had a tough opponent in front of her too. She was a 3 on the pedigree scale. Started fighting when she was 12, and plus she come from a fighting family. She got a bunch of brothers that boxed and shit. She used to go to the gym because her father didn't want nobody to babysit his daughter. So he said, "You got to come to the gym." And at 12, she started competing, and she went to she fought nationally and won a silver medal. And she is actually a rare woman that has a 50% knockout percentage coming into the fight. That's rare for women. Most time women be having 10% knockout percentage and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So she is a tough woman. Throw combinations, a good counter puncher. My only problem with her coming into the fight, this Ruiz, is that she's a little bit polite. Like she don't step across lines. Like she'll draw that line in the sand and she'll dare you to cross it, but she's not gonna cross it herself and go get you. And I thought that's why I thought Jenny Fuchs will have a good chance to win this fight. You know what I'm saying? Her last fight, she had trouble with this lady. I can't think of her name, Adelaide something. But that woman was a habitual line stepper. Like she steady just jumping in there with all kind of wild, uh,
Punches and everything.
wild and violent looking shit. This woman that she fought this past weekend, she was a little bit more polite, but she more technical. You know what I'm saying? But I knew she was gonna give us some problems. She was gonna come back with something. But we had to take Jenny Fuchs. She was coming off a long layoff, but I hollered at the Kane. And the Kane say, don't call that nigga the voice of reason no more either, man. Salute to the Kane, but that's D-Lo. D-Lo is the voice of reason.
I said DeCane was the voice of reason?
Yeah, you done said that several times. And no disrespect to the Kane, but that's D-Lo, nigga. I've been calling D-Lo that shit for years. But
I could have sworn I was giving it to D-Lo.
We ain't got to go back and forth on it like that, but you did though. But
Okay,
what I was gonna say is, you made me forget the fuck I was about to say, man. Shit, I forgot what I was about to say. But yeah, Jenny Fuchs went out there and did her thing, man. She won the fight. It was close. It was a split decision. One of the judges had it kind of wide for her opponent, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? But she had her cool, man. She showed some toughness and she went out there and did what she had to do. Salute to Jenny Fuchs. Went out there and won that bet for us because we needed that shit like a pig needs slop. Because I went out there and went 0-2 the day before and was doing bad. So we had to come back with something on Saturday, and we did.
Man. I ain't making no complaints or nothing, but I just wanted to know how she looked after with that injury like that. You said she kept on going, trucking through it. I'm like, wow, that's big. That's real big.
Yeah, the Kane told me that she was fighting in that team combat league shit. That's what got me over the top on the bet, because when I looked before, it looked like she hadn't fought since June of 2023. So I thought she was inactive. But when I hollered at the Kane, he let me know that she been fighting in that team combat league shit. So she been active. And when I saw that shit, let's get it.
We got it. The boy say, going back to what we was talking about, he said, laughing out loud, MZ. Like, so did we win? Yeah, we won. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
My bad, bro. I got a knack for getting up under the skin some kind of way, some kind of how, without even trying. I don't know how to get it. In Hyphy's voice, he's saying, y'all lost that purse bid today by $250K. Now I can't get to tell y'all what to do, can't pick the network, location, date. Now y'all will get to see how it feels to be mistreated.
He said they lost by 1K. That's what Hyphy said on Discord. He said one motherfucker bid at 250 and the other one bid at 251. And he was like, what's going on? Because that shit's supposed to be confidential. So how do people know what the other person bid so they can come over the top for 1 extra K to win?
That is crazy.
Yes, he's
you
saying
would think that
things.
The bids are silent, hidden. Or what's the purpose of having the bid? Unless you at a bidding house where they auctioning off stuff. Napoleon Armstrong in the house. Salute, fellas.
Salute, bro. What's going down?
That boy Eric also said, my nigga Rigo ain't putting up with a hand injury like that. F that. Man, that thumb looked crazy, just ugly.
Yeah.
Oh, he said Janabek lost by 1K.
Okay.
That's a totally first bid.
Okay. Yeah, he fighting against that Russian motherfucker. Okay, I forgot.
Dang. It's been a rough week for me, man. Once the weekend hit, things like the tires just start falling off. But I'm pushing through.
Yeah.
What kind of gas you got over there?
I got some Gush mints. It's some gas there. That shit at 31.68%.
Gush mint?
Yeah, Gush mints. I actually got the hash to go with it. I got the Gush mints herb and I got the Gush mints hash.
Ooh, yeah, this is hell.
Yeah, that shit different. I got it packed up in the vaporizer right here. I'm gonna take a break in a minute and beam up in this motherfucker.
It sounded like you was turning around reaching for it as you was speaking.
Now I look back there. I look back where I had it at. Yeah, it ain't right here, right next to me. It's right here by the little on the stand and shit. Yeah. I'm gonna take care of that in a minute.
That boy Bruce Gadd said he got some double OG fortified with blonde crumble.
So that crumble. Yeah, I like all them type of concentrate. Yasa got me on this hash though, man. I done had the bubble hash. I don't know what kind this is. This is some type of solventless hash. It looked different than the bubble hash. And then I'm probably gonna grab some of that Moroccan hash too. I want to try that out.
Okay.
Yeah,
talking hash and everything. Now, last time I heard somebody speak about some hash was my big brother, and that was in the 80s.
Yeah.
He hit me up. I got excuse me. You know, it's going.
You still alive, nigga?
Yeah, I'm still alive. Man, so you seen that quick change of thing? You seen the movie The Deliverance?
No.
The Deliverance. Armin Brown was speaking about it. Now it's one of those kind of off a true story devil movies. You know, I already said I don't like that kind of stuff at all.
Yeah.
But I told her I'd watch it because my wife also saw it and was like, oh, we should check this out. I just ain't with it. But, you know, me and her supposed to discuss about it. It gave me it didn't bother me too bad like The Exorcist did when I saw The Exorcist as a youngster. But it still gave me that kind of feeling like I ain't really wanting to be watching this.
Yeah.
That boy Bruce Gadd said, "There's been more new ways to enjoy cannabis in the last 5 years than has been in the history of weed." Yeah, they just started extracting it from the plant without all kind of stuff going on. I guess I'm a newbie. I've been smoking a long time, but I ain't been touching all these newfangled kind of operations that's going on.
Yeah, they got the crumble, you got the shatter, you got the rosin, you got the resin, you got old fashioned keef. Of course, you got the hash like we've been talking about. Yeah, it's a bunch of shit out there, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Batter,
Napoleon.
butter, all that shit.
Yeah, I heard about the butter stuff, and it almost looked like a paste. And I'm like, so how they using that with one of those vapor things?
Dab rig.
A dab reed.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard of it, never seen one. I'm gonna look it up.
You fire that shit up with that torch and then drop that shit off in there. And you can inhale it like that.
So
that
it's
shit
more
strong,
like
though. That shit there, that might be a little bit too much for you, OG. That's what
what?
niggas you
Hold
gotta be
up.
at least you gotta be under 40 at the most to be fucking with that shit. That shit might send your ass to the hospital somewhere, nigga.
Hold on, man. Don't do me like that. Hold on. You done disrespected the game of how long I've been smoking. I ain't met enough smoke yet to make me bag back and be like, whoo, I ain't with it. He said that might be you might be too old for that. I ain't never that as part of an excuse to not be able to hit the bud. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
For real though, this shit that I got right now, that shit there fuck your whole day up. Like you gotta make sure you get everything that you want to accomplish before you partake. Cause that shit gonna get canceled. You know, I love to work out and shit, nigga. I gotta make sure I get it in first because if I don't, ain't gonna be no working out. You know what I'm saying? I ain't working on no boxing, I ain't working on no bets, I ain't doing shit. I'm being this motherfucker sleep somewhere. For real. That shit puts you in your goddamn headlock, nigga, make your ass go to sleep. Hey, this shit ain't no joke. Like the hash I got, it says 60. They got some at 57%, and they got some at 67%. I got the 57 right now. That shit strong as fuck. I'm talking about just a little bit off in the vaporizer with some herb. Nigga, your ass is going to sleep. Bullshit.
Man. That boy, Napoleon Armstrong said, my friend on vacation in Pasadena. I may have her email me a survival pack. Yeah, cause say we're gonna chip in and surprise MZ with some weed cough drops. That would be nice. He said, I got that dab read and torch going on. Yeah, Bruce Gas he got that weed vapor rub. Give you that couch lock. Y'all done been locked down on the couch before off some green back in the day. With that red light going on, staring at the light, tripping with my nephew like the light was doing something to us and we were straining to keep up. We was high. I mean, high. Top tier branded live resin costs $1,200 to $1,400 an ounce.
That should be like 70 a gram. For the top tier shit, 60 a gram for the 5-star. The 70 a gram is on the 6-star. The 5-star the 6-star 70, 5-star 60 is how it goes. That shit is real expensive, and that's at a place that got reasonable prices. There's gonna be some places that shit costs more than that. But that shit tastes good, and the effects are unmatched. I ain't bullshit. That's a whole nother level right there. Like, that's on some connoisseur type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Bruce Gas just dropped a link. He said he get an ounce for $200. Drop the link and say get a pound for $1,200. Check out that link I sent you. It's a bargain. Go ahead, copy that and put that on my notebook.
He must be talking about some flour. He can't be talking about no rosin. Yeah, I think he talking about flour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make it clear, Bruce. Make it clear. Not that I'm attacked, because the way you just put it out there, MZ, you too old. I'm like, really? You just shook me to the core with that one. I don't even know how to come back.
I just don't want nothing to happen to you, OG.
I feel you looking out for me. I feel
Yes.
you.
Yeah. See, he
Bruce,
said
I miss-
resin. We not talking about resin. We talking about rosin. Rosin and resin ain't the same thing. I just clicked the link. Let me see what he got on the link.
Okay. That boy Gil Cole say, put them lighters down. Sniff. It's burning, baby. It's burning.
Yeah, so he got this live resin sugar. That shit might got some BTC or hold on. BDTs off in there. That's what that sound like, them botanically derived terpenes. We don't like that shit. But yeah, this is resin. We talking about rosin.
Oh, shoot. Y'all got me confused. The difference is resin is from fresh frozen plant, with roxin is from cured plant.
Yeah, I can't say I'm an expert, but I know that I see resin costs significantly less than resin costs significantly less than rosin. That is what I have seen for sure.
And rosin is what I'm aiming for. That's the the one that you say, MZ, don't mess with that one. That's you're too old for that one. That's that one.
That's really the shatter type shit though. What I was talking about on that. The rosin is a little bit more smooth than the shatter. That shatter, that shit have you coughing up a goddamn lung, nigga, with your eyes watering and you sweating. And that's gonna do that to you.
Oh yeah. That's what you call when you get through coughing and you get that little sweat. Back in the day, it's time to grab the PlayStation stick, pull up the boxing game, or Madden. Me and say cough up a lung. You know what? I want to say, like, I'm gonna try it, but then I'm hearing your warning and you sound so like, don't do it, Em, don't do it.
I don't know, you might like it though, because you can roll it up with a blunt too. You ain't gotta have no dab rig. And if you roll it up in a blunt, you might be able to handle it a little bit more.
Okay. I feel you. You sound like you're giving me an easy way out. Oh, that went down the wrong way, down the windpipe. Swallowing too quick. Pause. I'm drinking some water. And I just opened up an Ultra Michelob. So I'm drinking that too. What's the weather been like down there, man? It's raining and stormy. 5 minutes and then get hot. Then rain again. Then storm. And then get hot. This weather here is crazy, crazy, crazy.
It's raining right now.
Dang. I like the rain though. Say that. Wait. Don't be like that. Be a menace that pass the science. Shoot. He said, I know quite a bit about it. Shoot. Well, next week, bro, I'm trying to get down to Houston, go see the sisters. I think I spoke to you about it already. So much going on right now. It's hectic. Come to find out, I have been misrepresenting my auntie's age, with my wife's auntie's age, and my father-in-law. Auntie is 90 years old, bro. I've been saying this lady was 80. This lady is 90 years old, and she look 80. She not super grayed out. She still got black hair. Like, wow. 10 years and she had that bill up under her belt. I sure hope she make it. I ain't never talked to a person 100 years old. See, like I end up alone. Man, pretty soon I'll be able to see all the fights. I won't have to be struggling no more. I'll be able to see all the games, everything. My brother hooking me up, so if anybody want to know, holler at me so I can get you in there. Check out my all new weed channel. Well, you got a channel? I'm gonna check that out, Bruce. I sure will. But that girl Asia Wilson is ridiculous. She going hard in the paint. I can't wait to be able to watch all the games as they come on. That's like my grandma. She didn't get her first gray hair till her 70s. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy, Eric. You know what? That brings me to this. A question. What's a question that you would hate to be asked? That you just, it's one of those questions that make you pause for a long time. You just really don't know how to answer it because of so many different ramifications that come with answering that question. And for me, that question, we say, MZ, I could have talked you through the whole fire stick thing. Pretty easy to do. Sky versus Aces, fourth quarter right now. Oh, the Aces is out? Oh. Yeah, you're going to have to tell me what's going on. You're going to have to tell me what's going on. Appreciate that. Thanks for the late fire stick thing. But the question that I don't like is, I don't know if I'm wrong for this, but when an ugly person asks you, you think they're cute. I'm just curious of how y'all would answer that. First of all, have you ever even been asked something like that? I mean, literally. Everybody can't be cute. Everybody can't be pretty. Not on this planet. The fact is, ugly folk. It's running around, and I think majority of them know they ugly. But when you see one that you know that they got to know that they ugly, and they ask that question, how do you answer that? That's what I would pose to the chat. And y'all don't just leave me high and dry, man. Come on, I know y'all listening. Yeah, help me out. I just want to see. I just want to see what y'all would say. Because I say, you got some strong features. That's all I can say. You got some strong features. Maybe I'm wrong. Well, I'm here. I might as well go ahead and pay this bill. I don't need to prolong it. Go and get it out the way. I had an old friend. Wait, let me see what it say. I had an old friend of mine who's 73 and is in shit shape. Asked me how long I think he had left to live. I had to bite my tongue. Wow. Dang, Bruce. Boy, Eric, I say, they say beauty is in the eye, in the eye, in the eye to behold the baby girl. I like the truth. I like the truth in your eyes. Okay. Oh, that's a good one. Dang. Oh yeah, I got a woman's battle what it looks question for you. I will pull it up later. A woman's in the battle. I don't. I'm not really like putting it as a battle. I'm just saying, how would you react if that was approached to you? I'm just saying. I'm just sharing something that happened with me, and my answer was, you got some strong features. Yeah, got some strong features. I hurried up and tried to get away, you know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't standing there for them to think about it and try to ask another question. And since I'm not saying exactly, sometimes you must lie. Bruce, you know, lying is not good. You know, it's just that you don't want to send a person away thinking one way, and that's not what it is. So I tried my best not to discourage the person and just straight out say, man, come on. You know, by all means, you ugly. And, but, you know, he said, MZ ever had to tell a girl she didn't have no thunderous cat? You know, I'm going to be honest. I told a lady back in the day, way back in the day, that her dome was all right. And she was like, what? And I was like, it was all right. I ain't never seen nobody get dressed and leave so fast. It was crazy. But I didn't think. You know, she bragged like it was gonna be all that, and I was like, it wasn't that. So, but Thunderous Cat. Let me see. And I done had a couple of falling outs because I let my mouth say the wrong things at the wrong time, just being me. Since I ain't put no names to nothing, I told the girl that you know her whole thing was just dry. It wasn't no fun in it at all. Do that count? My boy, Bruce Gas say lying is better than hurting somebody. Yeah, that's why, you know, I try to think it out what I say where, you know, it don't hurt nobody, but it tend to pose back and say, well, you know, you really know the answer to what you ask. And I'm not trying to chip away at your confidence or nothing, but if you think you ain't the cutest thing in the world and you look in that mirror all the time and you know you're not the cutest thing in the world, then go on and accept it. Walk in pride with what you got because it's yours. That's how I feel. But don't go around putting people in a position where they have to struggle with with themselves to answer a question you should already know the answer to. And maybe I'm going too far, but that's just how I think about it. Like I said, you know, as long as I keep names off of it, I didn't even say what kind of ginger it was, so I think I'm doing all right. I just thought I had to ask that question. Just like we know every baby in the world ain't cute. Come on now, y'all. Every baby ain't cute. We done seen some babies that wasn't all that cute. I don't know. Maybe y'all just seen all cute babies, but I have seen some rough looking babies. I was like, wow. When you grow up, it's gonna be hard. But they be lovable, you know. All babies are lovable, but they you know, all of them ain't cute. Just like all grandmas can't cook, all mamas can't cook. You know, we just got to keep it real on a lot of things that people just automatically, oh, that's such and so, it's gonna be good. No, stop it. I done been to some grandma's houses. Grandma's food just was not on point at all. Nothing was right. Terrible. Ugh. Stomach hurting situations. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Eric all say dry is the worst. This one lady had me feeling like she had my man's in the figure 4. Ouch. Oh man. So you feel my pain, my struggle. Things that way back in the day I had to go through, that I went through. You know what it is. Just having a conversation, letting it out, answering questions of certain things. But I ain't gonna let y'all off the hook. I already said, you know, how many times you've been to grandma's house or auntie's house or somebody's house where people swear up and down this person can kill it in the kitchen, and when you get to eat, you be like, For real, this what y'all, come on, man. This cannot be what y'all was bragging about. This just can't be it. Grandma can't cook now. That means grandma couldn't cook a long time ago. Y'all just been lying to grandma all these years. Why? Because that's grandma. Yeah, it's good, grandma. Shoot, I've learned that if you tell a person that you don't like it, usually it don't come back to your plate after it's cooked that day. Being honesty is the best policy. Look, I don't like that meal. Can we not have that no more? But you steady say, oh yeah, it's good. Every time you look up, y'all finna have it on some special day. No. And it's always the thing that's left over the most in the refrigerator. Nobody eating the leftovers or anything. Which former woman's wrestler? You talking about you're gonna have to come on here with that, hyphy. You can have me to read them and then answer. You're gonna have to come on here and ask some of that, let the brothers help on that. Cause like it almost feel like we kind of I don't know if we should be asking that question and putting it on certain people, because then when you put it on certain groups like that, women wrestlers, then it's like we vilify. We turn it into some villains. I don't want to be a villain. I want to keep it open and broad. That way nobody can really point a finger, because it's so, up in the air. Yeah, I said ugly babies, but I ain't particularly say what kind of baby. I just said all babies ain't cute, just like all grandmas can't cook. You know how broad that is? Now, there's some grandmas that can cook, but you, for the ones that can't, that's the grandchildren I'm talking about. And the kids that grew up under that grandma, hey, I'm glad my mama could cook. And my auntie could cook too. I am so glad it's cookers in the family. But I have been to some friends' houses. And their mama just couldn't cook. Who make mashed potatoes in there? No flavor at all. No butter flavor, no salt flavor, no pepper. That's white people. No, don't say that. Don't say that. That's just bland. Yeah, let's say that. That's bland. The gravy don't taste like gravy. It's just not gravy-ish. That's not even the word. But you know how gravy had that make you slap your, you know what I mean? When you slap your tongue off the top of your mouth, that kind of taste with the mashed potatoes. That's what you want with the mashed potatoes. But I've been to some places the gravy wasn't. It's just sad. Talking to one of the little guys that play football at the high school. They played a team from Austin. I can't remember the name of the team from Austin, but they came from Austin. And I get it. They coaches trying to have them play against some juggernauts from out of town. Austin got some good teams there. And he's trying to get them ready for the season. Asked the young man, so how'd y'all do? Say, we got beat 42-0. Did y'all even scratch somebody and make them bleed out there? Yeah. Did y'all do anything? But y'all, hopefully y'all will be good when the regular season starts. Hyphy, so many women wrestlers. The question is still floating on my mind, because you had Blaze, and I don't know. It's just that's just too much for me to answer. All those women will bring the thunder. Thanks, Bruce. He got me off the hook with that one. He said all those women from wrestling will bring the thunder. You just need to take your pick. Thanks, Bruce, for keeping me from having the Sable. Whew. I don't know why I was thinking Sable, but I was thinking that she was an American Gladiator. I don't know why that crossed my mind like that. But that's a good one. It's so many of them I could see their faces. I just can't remember their names. My daughter would be so, Dad, we watch wrestling all the time. China. Bruce Gas, Boxer Jazz and Moore said he would hit China. He said, I would. Yeah, I feel you, Bruce. I can see the sensuousness in that. Lift me up and take me to the room, baby. Lift me up and take me to the room. LOL. My son called himself getting invited to a cookout.
by his friend. He texts me like, the mac and cheese look gray, Dad. I said, don't eat nothing but the watermelon. And and come home. Wow, not gray. What kind of cheese you think they was using? Maybe they used the white cheese and peppered it up a little bit. That would grayish it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen gray macaroni and cheese, actually. But, bro, you really told him don't eat nothing but the watermelon and come home? I could see so many jokes coming from that. I could just see it happening. Oh, no, I'm good. Can I just get some watermelon? He said China pre or after Sergeant Slaughter Chin? Pre-China. Bruce said after she went under the knife. Give it to me natural. Bring in the house natural. My boy Hyphy said, MZ, you like stuff like smoked oxtails? I have had oxtails, Hyphy. I have. That was one of the meals that grew up in my auntie's house. She could smoke some oxtails. Some cabbage, cornbread. Not that thin cornbread, but like that 2-inch pan cornbread. Buttered down. Some green beans. Some Kool-Aid. Yes, sirree. Those are some memories right there. Bruce Gass said there's some good China porn out there. Whoa. China went to doing that? I had no idea. Not that I'm going to go look. I'm just saying I had no idea. Where my water? This went on the feeder road real fast. I could have swore I had a water. I had when it got the extra one. So I could already be ready. Y'all get this. Oh, there it is. If I open my eyes a little wider, I could see. That boy Eric, no, I didn't say give me the chin. I said give me the natural. He sure went left. I got it back right. We back in the Mississippi lane. We back rolling like we should be. Chilling. Having a good time. I'm lit. I was supposed to be paying a bill. Let me go and get that out the way. Like I'm supposed to. What is it for? So we didn't figure it out and agreed on the easy way to let down an ugly person when they ask you, you think I'm cute? That boy Eric I'll say Bruce Gass is the GOAT. Wait, what? Bruce on that goat weed. Wait, what is goat weed? He named something else, not goat weed. He named some prestigious name bud up early in the chat. I'm supposed to be doing that. Y'all forgive me for the slight bag down. Where were we? Having a conversation. Something hit me with something. Hit me with something. Wait, no. That means the Horny G oat weed. Which boxers got the best, ugliest wives? What? I would never talk about a man's wife. I just can't do that, Hyphy. I can't say which boxer got the ugliest wives because that's just disrespectful on so many levels. And I'm a husband. I can't be calling some man's wife ugly like that. That's just disrespectful. You don't do that. We can't grade them. None of that. I won't grade nobody's wife or anything like that. That's just going too far. Let's keep it broad strokes. Broad strokes. Well, I guess Bruce Gass said Larry Holmes' wife looked like she should be in the ring. Wow. I've never seen Larry Holmes' wife. So I won't speak on that. I'll just leave that as the chat. Wow. Larry Holmes' wife. Final score 90-71 Aces. Wow. Chicago dropped another one. I would say one of the twins' wives looks like a smiling face emoji. What the Charlo twins? Okay. I got you on that. Rate you doing there? Oh, Hyphy just pushing people on Larry Holmes' wife. That's what I was pulling up. Let me see what this is. And I gotta take me through all this just to see a picture. I'm a happily married man. I'm married, the wife's happy. That's all good. If that's her, oh, I'm not going to even mess with that. So, you know what? Tonight seemed like a quick show. I'm going to let it be at that. I appreciate everybody coming through. I am going. Hey, Hyphy. I got a few minutes. Let me wait to see if you're going to come on through. MZ, how do you think Ward versus Darrell would have a fair in the Super Six? Which Darrell? Because I saw him in an interview and they were actually talking about it. And, you know, Ward gave that aura that Darrell knew that he ain't had nothing for Ward. And Darrell was Andre. That's the one that Caleb knocked out, right? We talking Andre Ward, man. The dude that haven't lost since he was, 12? A dog in the ring. Could get great leverage on inside punches going to the body. Smart. If you bring it to me, I'm bringing it to you harder. I'm gonna ride with Dre. SOG. I'm gonna ride with Dre over Andre. Over Andre Darrell. I'm gonna take Andre Ward. You see it different? Hey, 90-71. Wonder what Angel did. I wonder what Asia did. What's with you, Hyphy?
Don't say my name, fool.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
What's up, Clarence?
I can't have my job find out. What's up, though?
Shoot, just sitting here chilling, going through the night.
Yeah, I was watching the game behind the scenes, all listening to the show. You feel me?
Right.
Yeah. But yeah. What's up, man? You been chilling?
chilling hard. Waiting for things to kick through so I can go ahead and get my one-way ticket to be able to watch all the fights and all the games, so I can be able to so I can report better on them, have more at my fingertips, and not be missing stuff.
Oh yeah. You got one of them things coming in the mail, huh?
Yeah, my big sister, my brother's wife in Mississippi, she gonna hook me up.
Okay, yeah. Well,
I'll
the
be able to
thing
watch.
is with those is like keeping them updated. If you don't keep them updated, then like some of the apps stop working and all type of stuff. So you just gotta.
Well, apparently she working with some entity that got it set up where you be good. You send a little payment, and you keep it going like a cable thing.
Yeah. That's called an IPTV. I know what you're talking about.
Somebody's
Yeah.
TV, but I know I'm gonna get to watch all the games and all the fights.
Yeah. Them is
And some
cool.
UFC.
And like depending on the one you got, it be having you have channels from like different countries. So you might have all the Canada channels, all the UK channels. You know what I'm saying? It's like all the fucking South Africa channels.
Well, let my brother describe it. I'm getting one just like he got. All I know is he get to watch every movie that come out, even if it's at the movies. He get to watch it at the same time. Every fight that we've watched, like I always say, I always get with him and watch the fight with him because he always has it. Football games or basketball games, he got access to everything that comes on.
Yeah, that's IPTV.
Well, I like it. I like the sounds of it. If it's gonna help me be able to do what I'm trying to do, then bring it on. Eric all said, "Yeah, I think Ward would have figured him out and stopped him in 8 or 9." Ooh, 8 or 9. You probably from 7, he would have probably started figuring him out, going to the body, making him start thinking about those body shots. And he'll probably get caught with something upstairs and call it a night. I'll say between 7 and 9. You said 8 or 9. I'll add 1 on there. He said you'll be able to watch Benny Hill with Yasser. I used to watch Benny Hill, Eric R., where my big brother was a big Benny Hill fan. And the Mighty Python. We used to watch, they used to come on back to back. Benny Hill would come on first and then the Mighty Python. I remember sitting there watching that with my big brother a lot. So yeah, I'm hip to Benny Hill, baby. Benny Hill, funny as heck. Speaking of old school shows, an old school show that I would watch, and that's because of Tim Conway. I don't know if y'all hip to him. It's the Carol Burnett show, when she used to have that little talk show skit thing where they used to do skits and tell jokes and everything. That boy Benny, I keep looking at Benny Hill's name. Tim Conway was a fool. He that dude there was so funny. He did an old man sketch where he shuffles across the feet. Shuffle his feet as he moves across as he's walking, talking like an old man. Man, I'm talking memories on that. Yeah, I would surely find something with the old school shows from my childhood. But I ain't gonna hold y'all and burn y'all with that. But I am finna leave y'all and go find me something to chill with. I gotta go cut on my little walking machine. I got a couple of miles I gotta put in before I do anything else. So with that being said, I'm gonna turn it in early tonight. No, I ain't. I'm tripping. Hyphy.
Hey, like how Trey just fell off out of nowhere.
He probably went to go get him something to eat. You know, it's about that time when he usually grab him something to eat.
Yeah, that nigga got that one hitter quitter tonight.
Oh yeah, you did say he was talking about that gas. He probably, but I still think he gonna get him something to eat. I don't think he gonna crash out before he get him something to eat. He a healthy dude, and he followed that little routine. But did he say that gas was so cold and he do have him just falling asleep? He might miss the meal. Either way, I hope you're doing all right with it. He say, He said, I used to watch that Carol Still Alive. Yeah, Carol Burnett push it hard. Hyphy, I need to know, what did Asia Wilson do?
Oh, okay. All right, first half.
Oh, I gotta set the ambiance.
All right, first half. She was being like, I'm gonna say most of the first half she is being guarded by Angel, and Asia. Like, you're not gonna stop her from scoring. So she was definitely doing her thing. Angel was trying. So she was. I can't say she was playing bad. She was playing cool too, but they started blowing them out. By like the end of the first half, it was like a 20+ point lead around there. And then like the second half, they switched. They put Camila Cardoso on Asia, and that's when Asia really started going off. She was whipping her ass in that second half. But they did give up the lead because at one point they had got it within 10. But yeah, it was just another one of these games where Asia carried the Aces team for the most part, and yeah, Asia was just unstoppable.
Too much for him.
Just too much for him, bro. She was whipping Camila Cardosa ass like bad. But see, here's the thing, MZ. Okay, it's clearly like Asia's the best in the league without a doubt. But as a team, like the Aces team, like I don't think anybody would say they the best team in the league right now, even if they won the last 2 championships. They're not playing the best team ball right now.
Well, maybe they'll pull it together at this moment. Who would you look at as being the best team playing right now?
Well, look, if I had to guess, I would say the New York Liberty, and that's not just because they got the best record in the league, but it's like watching them play. My bad, my camera's going off. But okay, so I would say they would like be the best. But see, the Aces beat the Liberty last year in the finals. But now if I want to say like what teams are just like playing the best right now, the Minnesota Lynx and the Indiana Fever.
The Fever and the Lynx. I got a chance to see the Fever go ahead and do their work. I haven't got a chance to lay my eyes on the Lynx yet, but it's coming up. I just had to ask, how my girl did in the game, as well as Angel. I don't want to take us too deep on basketball because we got a day set for that, which is Fridays, where we're going to come together and talk WNBA. Like I said, as soon as I get everything set up where I can be able to watch all the games, my following up on everything, boxing and everything would be a lot better. But, I don't know why I ain't did it earlier. I guess I just wasn't thinking. I was satisfied with watching it with my brother, but I've been missing a lot of fights and a lot of games.
Yeah, but hey, on this Brian Norman and stuff, hey, this shit is kind of funny because it's like, one side put out an interview, like the other side put out. So first it was just Brian Norman going up against in this whole team, but now both the manager and the matchmaker for Brian Norman, they didn't step up publicly. You know what I'm saying? Like Brian Norman himself, he done did a few interviews. So it's like, yeah, they like every time they shoot, like we got to go over there and shoot back at them. It's crazy.
That's the day. That's how the internet being used by these guys now. Like I said, some of them know how to use it to their advantage. Some of them don't. I think it's with this point, I think the Normans might be putting themselves in a sticky situation. Especially letting it come out that Eddie Hearn did hit him with a 1.7. That a lot of people gonna ride him for that. A lot of people, it like I know it, and him getting Boots, if he confident and really think he can beat Boots, then go ahead and take the chance at that 1.7 because 369. He talking about. I think he said 300,000 fight. Is they minimal or something like that he was talking. I listened to his explanation, and 369 is not more than 1.7. You got to have 3 fights to do that 369. One fight to have that 1.7. So I'm kind of not really on board with that part right there. Once again, I do understand what the father is trying to do and what he asking for, but I don't think he needed to frame it in an interview where the world could see it and be able to break it down because, you got a lot of these people that are going to strictly attack that and try to break it down totally. That boy Eric, I say, I like that gray hair. Yeah, Eric.
Hey, now if I could counter you and ask you, okay, what if Ennis team looking at it like this? Because, like I said, the matchmaker and the manager, they didn't both came out and spoke publicly. Now, me, I think, they the ones that's like doing the negotiations, and they telling Brian Senior like, look, trust us on this, whoop the whoop, and he trusting them with it. That's what I think. But look, they probably looking at it like this: Eddie Hearn, you so dumb, you didn't open your mouth and said we offered Stanionis and Barrios fights, and they said no. So they probably looking at it like, you don't got no big fights for Jaron. The only thing you could do is like make a title fight. So if they both said no, you only got us. So they probably looking at it like, nigga, we got the leverage. And so that's why they playing it the way they playing
it. That's a possibility. That is a possibility. The question is raised: why are the other champions not accepting the fights? What's holding up the situation with that? We don't know how open communications are with Eddie Hearn, and then with the Ennises when it comes to negotiating. We don't really know if he's making moves and then going back telling them, hey, they turned this down or something like that, or vice versa. You know what I mean? So by them just coming out, I felt it was kind of dumb too for Eddie Hearn to say, I turned down that Stanionis had turned down the fight, and Stanionis came out and said that they offered him a little bit of money in so many words. And Mario Barrios, they team, as far as I know, they just never said anything. They never even replied. So I don't know how that speaks to some people. How does it speak to you?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. That's leverage. If they looking at it like, we know that the other 2 champions, they said no to you. So now it's like, y'all gotta mess with us. And that's how they looking at it for one. And then they also probably looking at it like, we the ones that's like really willing to fight y'all next. It's easier to make a fight with us than those other 2 guys that y'all offer because they with PBC. So yeah, they just looking at it and like, look, even the matchmaker. I read the article today that D-Lo posted. The matchmaker said, look, we understand Matchroom is in a real tough position, and considering that, we feel like we are being reasonable. So yeah, they using all that stuff against them. That's what I said. Eddie running his mouth publicly and these stunts, they backfiring on him.
Huh. Well, we just have to see what's going to break down on it. Let me say salute to 2 Cents Boxing. Thanks for joining the chat, joining into the conversation. Glad you're here. If you like what you hear, hit the thumbs up. And if you got anything to say, put it in the chat. See if we can get to read it for you. I don't know, bro. Eddie saying one thing, and at first everybody wasn't saying the same thing, but you can't still take away the fact that did they really turn down, if it was on the table, 1.7 million? Did they really do that? Because to me, that is substantially more than what you've been making. They've already publicly stated that. But the dad's reasoning for saying that he wants to try to have his son walk away as a millionaire
from this fight. And yeah, Boots got some name behind him and everything like that. But you honestly, in my opinion, you don't hear those kind of statements really being made unless that name is one of those names like Spence, Crawford. Yeah, you can hear Boots saying, I want that much fighting one of them, because of who they are. But right now, Boots isn't in that stratosphere yet. He's starting to make noise, but he's right at the cusp of getting, dare I say, the casual fans to start saying his name. Once he start getting that, then he get a little more leeway in the conversation. But the Normans have to realize that Boots is not at that point yet. And 1.7, and this is gonna be going for a belt. You trying to get a belt? Yeah, you got an O. He got an O. One of the O's got to go. Are you up to it? Are you up to the task? Or are you really letting 1.7 hold you up? What more? What much more could you want out of that, other than to say that you want to walk away as a millionaire? That's not a good enough reason. That's not a good enough reason to hold up a fight. That's not even something that you should really, as a promoter or dad, be standing in front of the world telling. My opinion.
This the issue that everybody got, and including you, because I hear how you speaking, but I'm just gonna tell you, like, I understand what you're saying, but this where everybody missing it. Brian, they really looking at it like we not no B-side. They really looking at it like we equal. We 50-50. They looking at it like, okay, look, Jaron, the advantage he got, he at the fight will be in Philly. And he can sell out Philadelphia. But they looking at it like we got the better win on our resume. We also got one belt just like y'all. We the ones who got to cross the street and take the risk. So like they really don't see themselves as like a B-side to Jaron. So like I can't say they intentionally pricing themselves out, because if somebody say, "Oh, you just made 190,000 your last fight, nigga, now you was about to win 1.7 million." Well, see, like you could tell, like we could say to y'all, "Hey, stop pocket watching," but then people there say, they'll tell the Normans, "Don't worry about what Jaron making." You know what I'm saying? So you could say stop pocket watching on both sides. I can't say that, like, what I'm saying, just because they feel like 1.7 million ain't enough. I can't say that they pricing themselves out. They ducking by pricing themselves out. Are they pricing themselves out by thinking that they worth more? Possible, but I don't think that they using the money to duck. They just feel like they worth more than that.
Okay, I'm gonna touch on that. Eric also say they need to set up a business etiquette meeting and mentorships for these fathers and sons as they transition into the pro game. And we got a salute from 2 Cents Boxing. They speaking to Eric R. She's family. He say it's all cap. They just wanted to attach themselves to Boots. Is in some people's eyes, that is quite true. That it's just cap. They wanted to put their name to Boots, and ride that wave a little bit. I'm tending to think that maybe, wait, what's this? Just say he got emailed the belt. No title defense, no fan base, no hometown fights. How you worth $2 million?
They are email champions if that's the case.
Yeah, everybody was elevated. Actually, didn't Brian fight? He fought for a vacant belt, right?
Like interim, and then he got elevated.
Okay. But in order for him to get to where he was at, he did go through a hell of a fight to put his hands on that belt. So if I actually had to say, if any of them had a hard fight to get their belt, it would have been Brian. To put himself at $2 million and listening to what his dad said, I'm not riding that train at all. I do understand. I do understand what his dad is trying to do. I just don't approve of him doing it so publicly. If you were gonna hash it out like that, then you should have kept it out of the public's eye and ear.
Boots has a title defense, has defended his title. Now, I think he was just saying that they all were emailed.
Hey, this is the
Oh,
one
but
part.
she said, oh, no,
No,
she
go
did
ahead.
say,
Go ahead.
no, I was going back up to the top where they say email belt, no title defense, no fan base. I feel that. And Brian is trying to build him a fan base and try to get things going. I still, hyphy, honestly, I'm going to just have to be real with it. If 1.7 was on the table, if they came with 750, if that part is true and you was able to send it back and it came back at 1.7, then you should have went. I feel like they should have went on and took that. That's a good deal for a champion that doesn't have as big as a rumble behind him like Boots. Like I said, Boots does have more of a rumble behind his name. You know, he's right at the cusp of having the casual fans starting to say his name. He's right there. You just got to get him a good signature fight to kick him right over the line. But yeah, 1.7, I think they should have went on and pulled the trigger on that.
Hey, well, Deontay Wilder fans, when Eddie Hearn offered him $12 million to fight against AJ, they said that was a lowball offer. And Deontay Wilder, prior to that, on paper, his highest purse had been like a little bit under $2 million. So he turned down $12 million, and his fans said that would be dumb for him to take $12 million. So nobody had a complaint about that.
I'm hold on. 2 cents boxer says when negotiations are public like that, it's usually capped from my experience. And to go to the Deontay Wilder thing, the argument for his fans back then was because he was the longest reigning champion at the heavyweight division with title defenses more than AJ, I do believe. He has some legitimate gripes, not to mention that Eddie Hearn was trying to take a heck of a lot of money off of a projected to be a heck of a big selling fight, which probably would have been a big selling fight if they had made the fight back then instead of trying to marinate it and milk it. See how they messed that up. But I tend to agree with 2 cents boxing. When they do start coming out and talking about the negotiations or who said what and who did this, a lot of times the public end up getting a lot of misinformation. A lot of the stuff is either worded wrong or they give it to us wrong or misworded on purpose accidentally. I don't know. One way or the other, it ends up being divisive to get the fans of whoever it is on their side and making a lot of noise. Do I want to see Brian Norman and Boots fight? Yeah, if it's a unification, since that's what everybody's claiming they want is to unify and become undisputed. But then they start having conversations, and the first thing they do is get in the interview and start talking about what's going on in the negotiations. And you didn't hear that from the old school fighters. You didn't hear that back in the day like that. That was unheard of. You knew it was a fight coming. You knew the fight was made. You knew when the fight was dated. You might hear about the size of the purse. And maybe every once in a while they might say what the cuts is, but it was very rare that they made it a big deal. Yeah, we had the negotiation jump a whole million on the second offer. I wouldn't get greedy. Yeah, it did jump up a million. If nobody has discredited it being said, Eddie didn't come back and say, "Well, that's not true. I offered up over 100. I mean, up over a million, upwards over a million on the first offer." Well, he didn't discredit Norman when Norman said he only came with 750. But then Norman also agreed that one point, I didn't know it was 7, but I did hear him on $1 million worth of game talking to those guys. No, it wasn't $1 million worth of game. It was Zab Judah was talking to him. And he did say that offer came. So saying that you want to make your son a millionaire to walk away from this fight fighting Boots, but you were making fight 3 fights again. Like I said, here making fight 3 fights for 300 some thousand or somewhere in that range. Because those are numbers he said. That's only 900 some thousand. You still got to pay the people that you're gonna have to pay if you make the $1.7 million. I agree. Maybe you were just being got a little greedy. Should have went on and took the second offer once he jumped up that $1 million. Come on, son. If y'all really real about it, come on, son. Let's go ahead, put your hands on Boots and call it a night. What you think?
Hey, I mean, I was listening to Adrian Clark. That's the manager. I was listening to his interview, and he said basically, you know, when Brian Norman Sr. came out, it was because the first interview that hit was Jaron saying they ducked the fight. So he said, you know, we had to just get out there and make it known that that was not the case. So, you know, he's saying like every time he talked, it's in defense. Adrian Clark said that's the reason that he even did the interview, because it's in defense. Because Eddie got, you know, like a bigger fan base. He more known. So he like, you know, we talking because we got to get out ahead of this narrative that we ducked. But I will say this. Brian Norman, to me, one of the things that he did wrong was he could have just like went on one platform, did like 1 or 2 interviews. Like I would have went on maybe like Najee channel and that was it. But when he went on this whole like YouTube circus, it kind of give you the feeling that it give you these other YouTube daddies like like Jose Benavidez Sr., Devin Haney, Bill Haney, and Tio Daddy. You know, the ones who like make their rounds on YouTube, and the common denominator with them is the fans do not like those dudes. And I feel like Brian Norman doing all these interviews on, you know, Mill City, H Money, and all these other channels, it kind of put him in that same boat, like a daddy that's gonna stay on YouTube, a daddy that's always trying to be in front of the camera. And you know, that to me that brought like a lot of dislike for him as well, him and his son.
Oh, so you think he might end up bringing a lot of hate toward his son?
Yeah, I feel he already
because
did.
of his antics. Well, if his son could fight and put up, then that could work out for him, because people would be ready for him to get beat. You know, we have to see how it go down the line, but they're gonna have to start getting the fights and not be known as turning down fights, regardless of what they can't. That is a jacket they cannot be putting on, because once you put that jacket on, I think it's kind of hard to take it off.
Hey, well, look at it like this, MZ. Okay, they said Stanionis and Barrios turned down the fights, right? Well, them dudes, they didn't come out and do no type of defending. Oh, you know, that's not true. No whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. And them dudes.
Well, Stanionis did make a statement. Remember, he said something about he don't fight for ruples.
Okay, yeah. He did. But that was just like one thing, and that was it. It wasn't like a YouTube interview and all that. And he definitely didn't continue with no back and forth. So right now, let's just figure out whose popularity and likability has dropped the most out of, you know, Stanionis, Barrios, and Brian. It's definitely Brian, because he the one, you know, they decide that's going back and forth with Jaron and them the most. They engaged in it the most. So it's right. Like they didn't took a hit, if you ask me, as far as like in a public eye. Just
because they're the ones that's making the most noise.
Yeah.
With a fighter that people would like to see fight, because people like Boots. You know, don't make no mistake about it. So you're making noise with this dude, and he and his people say they tried to make the fight, and now we're hearing excuses from you. So yeah, I can see how that would damper the public against him. Eric also said they get the formula messed up. It's become a household name first, then become the villain. Y'all figure you on that. You got to at least get people to know who you are before you can start having them to dislike you. Because if they dislike you first, they ain't finna even mess with you. What I'm watching him for? He ain't did jack. But if you whooping people's ass, you know what I'm saying? If you keep whooping some ass and you get in there and fight the fights, sometimes you heard the old school people, you heard them say it. Floyd even said it. Okay, I couldn't get the big fights, so I just kept on fighting. Fight who they put in front of me until I get the big fight. That's the formula. Not going on YouTube and different channels telling people embarrassing things like, oh yeah, we got off of 750, but then he came back with 1.7. You just publicly don't do that. Especially given the reasons that he gave. And I still say I do understand him as a dad trying to do what he did, make his son walk away as a millionaire. But as our brother Trey X said, it sounds like really they trying to maximize what that owe is worth and sell it off. And if that's what you're looking for, it tells me that you really don't believe that you can beat Boots. What do you say to that?
Now, my one thing that I wish more focus would have been put on, and I don't know why even like H Money and them didn't put as much focus on the interview.
Your voice cut out.
I'm sorry. Bozy did the interview and he said that the truth is my son knocked your son down in the third round. And then Brian Norman, the next interview, he said his son never got knocked down by Jaron. So I'm like, now, nigga, we got one of the trainers that's supposed to be cool with each other lying. Like one of them is lying. I want somebody like to nitpick and dig at that to find out what's going on. But
maybe that the truth.
Hell yeah, because now, like it's no denying. It's somebody telling lies within this whole story. You know what I'm saying? Negotiations, that's one. What happened in sparring, that's a whole nother thing. But it's definitely lies being told, and you know what I'm saying? Like everybody doing interviews. Now the fans want to know what's going on. That's why this is even a hot topic.
True. And from what I understood, I heard that the interview he was supposedly dropped by a body blow. And if you're coming back and you're saying you didn't get dropped, it's only so long, I believe, before some kind of way, and it's been happening lately, Hyphy, some kind of way somebody's going to end up leaking the footage. It's going to come from out of nowhere. Somebody's going to leak the footage, and it's either going to show him getting dropped or it's not. And then we'll be able to have a conclusion of who lied. Kind of like with the Devin Haney video where Adrian Broner said he got in the ring and all that. All that is proved to be happened on the screen, on the video footage when they showed it. We got to see it. So we know AB didn't tell a lie about jumping out there, calling himself saving Devin.
But Bozy said he got a text message from Brian Sr. acknowledging the knockdown.
Wow. See, that's something about text that you just don't trust. You don't text somebody because they automatically give them a receipt. Everybody receipt this, receipt that. Now, that would be very damning if this man truly has a text saying that he acknowledged the knockdown. If that's true, he might as well go on a video on somebody's channel and acknowledge the knockdown. Because if it pops out, because y'all can't get your shit together, excuse my French, and say Bozy decide, you know what, I'm sick of going back and forth. If he ain't say it, if my son did knock him down, then why he sending me this text? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's all just like one thing I can say is creating like a lot of just build up for the fight. That is one good thing. This is probably the first time where we've seen somebody more so like really not only standing up to, but actually calling for a Jaron Ennis fight. So with all that stuff is creating build up. But of course, the one thing you got to get out of it is a fight. If you don't get a fight, then it's
all for naught.
Yeah, and it's looking like it's gonna be Brian that takes the hit because, like, if you asking, if we call your daughter right now, we just ask her, hey, look, this person he being offered 10 times more, she automatically gonna say if anybody look like they don't want to fight, it's gonna be Brian. So that's what I'm saying. He's gonna be the common, it most likely it's gonna be him that's taking a hit. Everybody gonna come to the conclusion it look like he ducking.
I will say a statement that stays strong. Semantics at this point, and I think it's gonna stand strong now. If you are truly attempting to be undisputed and collect these belts, how many times have we heard fans, hardcore fans, casual fans, fighters themselves say, you'll go ahead, buckle down, take what you got to take to get what you want. And in the end, you will get everything that you've been clamoring for. If he's truly after undisputed, then Boots is an obstacle. And the 1.7 is what's put out on the table for you to move that obstacle and kick his ass out the way. There's no other way to put that, in my opinion. Because you think about it, we've all said that statement at one point. If you're really trying to be undisputed, then go ahead and do it. And like I said, we heard the Grace say, couldn't get the big fight that I wanted, then I fought, beat up whoever I needed. But right now, you guys stand on this. Why ain't nobody, why the Normans ain't looking at him? Eddie tell it, Boots looked at him, they stand on to say he don't fight for rubles. Which tells me that he felt like he deserved more than what they was offering. Thing is, we don't know what they offered, so nobody's calling Stanionis a duck. See how that worked? The Normans came out and they put numbers to it. So now people can look at it, and you're going to be hard pressed to find somebody to say 1.7. No, turn that down. I don't know how many boxing channels are going to say that. Especially for who you are. I understand you have a sense of your worth, but don't inflate it. You've been in the ring with Boots, you sparred with Boots. Both camps have shared that Boots got the best out of the deal. What's changed? If you truly think that you could beat him, then you wouldn't be hesitating to pull the trigger. Right now, I'm sensing hesitation because of this. Your dad brought the money situation out. I don't know. Is it dad that's hesitating? Do dad have a disbelief that maybe somewhere in the back of his head he might think his son ain't gonna be able to do it? That'd be terrible. You know how I be thinking? I be saying some crazy shit, but I be telling my son, if 1.7, fuck it, go and beat this dude's ass, man. They talking crazy. Hyping them up. They talking, saying that they knocked you down in sparring. We can't argue nothing. We didn't get no good rounds. We might have got a good shot or two, but for the most part, we all understand that Boots got the better in sparring. So there's nothing in the storyline to get us crunk to say, except for what we saw Brian do in his last fight, the hard fight that he had as the champion. Getting elevated, winning the interim. That's what I'm trying to say. So people got, that's what he has. That's what he has to sell. Come on. Take that 1.7 and start. If he beat Boots, that's going to propel his name right there. Atlanta going to get hot. Hot Atlanta going to be all behind it. They're going to be making noise, but I don't think he's playing this right.
All right. Now, the only people that's probably going to look at it from a different perspective and point the finger at Jaron side would be the hardcore boxing fans. So how you feel about the people that might say, like this Eddie Hearn or I've seen some people say, okay, Jaron Ennis, he always have management issues, issues with his handlers and stuff, because in the past he's had some issues with Showtime, Cameron Duncan, the promoter he had prior to that. So, people will point at Jaron's side and say it's always an issue with his side. So it's like the few people that will point the finger at them, and they'll say stuff like Javante Davis. He said Eddie Hearn is a snake. Look at how Eddie Hearn did Devin Haney. He didn't even bid on his last person. He was like laughing at Haney when Haney was getting his behind whipped by Ryan. Eddie Hearn, he dropped Andre. Look at what he did with Andre. He didn't get Andre no big fights, and then he dropped him at the end. So it's like how you feel about people that point at Jaron's side and say they to blame? Because I've heard people say Jaron Ennis need to come up off some of that 3+ million that he gonna get and give some of that to Brian so he can make the fight happen. I heard some people say they only, it's like 250 to 500,000 that they disagreeing upon. Eddie Hearn need to just come up off that money so he can make it happen. So how you feel about that?
Well, yeah, people gonna have their opinions on that. Some of them, I can understand where they be coming from, asking Boots to come off a little money to make the fight happen. If you truly trying to get the belt, if that's what it takes for you to get it, go ahead and make that move, pull the trigger, and do it. But a lot of the statements and the arguments that they might come with, you still have to put one thing into effect, and that would be taking Boots and his team completely off the table as far as blame, because the Normans went out of their way to make sure they let it be known that the Ennis team wanted the fight. They pretty much are blaming Eddie Hearn totally. So if anything, they would have to really just look at Eddie Hearn and see where it's going wrong, because, yeah, you're right. It's a common denominator of a lot of fighters that didn't get big fights made through Eddie. Listening to the story about what happened with Devin and Ryan, I don't think that's as much as the Eddie's fault as much of an oversight with the Haneys. Like Eddie Hearn said, I was part of it, but I wasn't in the business sense of it. They're not listening to me on certain things of what I got to say. So my job is to sit back and beat the fuck out the way and let them run the show. So if any blame is to be had or given, I would think that the fans would have to pretty much aim it at Eddie Hearn, for the simple reason the Normans have already taken the Ennis team off the table by saying that it's not them, going out of their way, making sure that fans know, it's not Jaron, it's not Mosey. That right there, that says a lot, coming from the people that say they want the fight. You're telling us that you're arguing with the promoter about making the fight. Now, I could hear some people saying, well, if it's like that, then why don't the teams come together, a la Ryan Garcia, Tank, or Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence? Kind of get the middleman out the way. Come together, find out what each other want, agree to it, and then go tell the people, hey, this is what we want, this is how it needs to be done. And then you'll find out if it can be done or not, or if Eddie Hearn is full of that hogwash. That's my thought.
Yeah, it's for me, it's been like so much back and forth that even I've forgotten stuff that's transpired with this. Like so many interviews back and forth, and
there's so much is being said.
Yeah, the time they've taken place and stuff. So it's easy to get lost in all the transition of everything. But one thing that we probably agree upon, Eddie Hearn has definitely done some stuff in the past that have you questioning him if he's not representing you, and it seems like that's the case in this situation as well. Like, for example, it's easy for Eddie to say, hey, we made somebody an offer, they didn't accept it, they turned it down. You could say that, but not say they turned it down, but they also made a counter offer. You know what I'm saying? Like you could, you're not telling the full story, and then
You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna sit there and tell the people, yeah, we made an offer, but they came back with a counter offer, and I'm just not trying to deal with that.
Yeah,
no, you wouldn't do that. You know that that's why they should just leave the business behind closed doors. I want to ask you about Jamal Charlo charged with a DWI.
Yeah.
This is the way he shows up in the news. By crashing a Lamborghini. Back in May, though. This is back in May. Kind of just make you wonder, why is it coming to light now in September? You know what I mean?
That's a good question. For a situation like this would mean that it likely wasn't a lot of people around. That's what I would think. But yeah, it's still just a good question. Like, how did it go remain behind the scenes for so long before it finally hit? I'm trying to think. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, it just seemed unfortunate to me and a little strange, but it took place back in May. Here we are getting ready. The beginning of September?
Yeah, so about
That's
less than 4 months. Yeah.
Tank had an accident. You knew about that instantly. Don't know how bad the Lamborghini accident was, but you know what I'm saying. When Tank had this little accident, we knew about that instantly. Most definitely knew about Earl's. But as much controversy seemed to have been floating around the Charlo twins, you would have thought that if something happened, that it would have popped up, with the domestic violence and all that kind of stuff, and being drunk and all this kind of craziness. I'll give a little eye to it, but it's just puzzling to me that it's coming out at this time. Maybe you got a fight getting ready to come up, and this is the way they're gonna open up the gate.
Man, I haven't heard nothing. I just haven't heard nothing about a fight for Jamal. I did see sometime last month a picture had floated around that he was in a gym one day working with Ronnie. I seen that, but I haven't heard anything. And then the weekly interview that Ronnie Shields do, I haven't seen him on that show in maybe like 2 or 3 weeks. So I haven't heard nothing about that. So I just don't know with Jamal. But man,
neither one of them, actually.
Yeah, neither one of them. And I've only seen Jamel in public eye like one time since that Canelo fight.
Let me see. I thought I saw them at another fight. They were
I've
together
seen
at
them
another
like
fight.
one time at a fight.
They were together?
No, Jamel, I've seen him like one time at a fight.
No, I saw them together at a fight. Unless I'm tripping, I saw them together at a fight. I'm just trying to remember who it was that was fighting.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like hard to believe. I just don't recall it.
Yeah, they so far removed right now from public eye. It don't even matter to bring their names up.
Yeah, it's like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't hear nothing about them being attached to no negotiations, no nothing. So it's just like, they just kind of like there. But I'm just looking at both of them because they both fought on the same card. Here in a few weeks, it's about to make 1 year since they haven't fought. And not only have they not fought, they don't even have any negotiations active as far as we know. So once again, here goes the long layoff. They got
really?
just nothing going.
A year since they both fought?
Yeah, on the Canelo that card, that was last September.
But the other brother been out longer than that, right?
Well, they both fought on that same card. But
it seems like they've been out the game. It seems like they've really been removed out the game for a minute.
That's because even they fights prior to that, they had been out the ring for like, one was out the ring for 18 months, or no, like 15 months, and the other one had been over 2 years.
Yeah, that's
So
that's unacceptable.
yeah, it's just a continuous trend, and I'll always be mentioning because people be talking about Earl, who is very inactive, but I always mention you could go back to like 2018, I believe. Jamel has never fought more than once in any calendar year.
Huh. That's crazy.
Yeah. So with these dudes, like I said, 2 weeks is about to be a year, and we haven't even heard their names attached to no negotiations. So who knows when they gonna fight? But you already know the budget gets tight as the year goes on. So it's looking like they're not even gonna fight this year. Like who? They just got no type of momentum going for them at all.
Well, the younger brother, he cashed out, in my opinion. Canelo cashed him out. I think he got his money. He didn't get knocked out. He started chilling, living high on the hog like Andy Ruiz. He ain't really worried about it no more. I'm being for real. That's what I'm getting from them. They not really worried about fighting no more. Think they made them some good money. Al Heyman made them some millionaires, or helped them become millionaires. They made themselves millionaires. Uh, they got some money put up where they not just hemorrhaging it. Yeah, they probably like, yeah, forget boxing. I got it. I got what I want out of it. I'll be surprised to see them back, and really with the hunger to be champions again.
The one I would worry about more is Jamal because yeah, at least Jamel he got that $5 million payday against Canelo. Jamal didn't get a payday like that, so maybe he's probably got around like a million a few times, but just for like all of the issues he's had, damn near getting divorced with the wife and stuff like that, I would, and I think they got like 6 kids or so. I mean, I would be worried about him financially because crashing the Lamborghini. He had that one time when um, he got into like some type of fight inside of a club, and they had 150,000 in the bag. That bag got taken from him during that club fight. So they got stuff like that happening. Having all types of issues. Family issues. With the wife and stuff. That's probably lawyers being involved. Uh, all these. I don't think like he can. I don't think you can just look at him and say, oh, he financially set, so he ain't tripping. Um, but nonetheless, let me talk about the financial part with the other brother. He got $5 million to fight Canelo. Put up that type of performance. Everybody is disappointed in him. Now, between what's transpired with PBC and his stock dropping drastically like he did, I mean, do you really think that he's going to want to come back and fight for let's just say like $1 million? That'd be a fifth of what he got in his last fight. And let's say like if there's even $1 million being offered to him because he's not a titleist anymore. So who knows what type of money he'll be offered? But hell, like, is he really going to want to come back for a low amount of money?
Well, 9 times out of 10, he'd be satisfied with what gets offered to him. He's still up under the PBC umbrella. Those fighters think a certain way. That's where you get the back end and all that other extra stuff that they always talk about. So I would bet that if he comes back, the money part of it would be already okay and set for him. He'd be good. But the thing is, what do I expect him to do at 154? It ain't no easy walk in the park at 154. I ain't even thinking about his big brother at 168 because 160 because shoot, they got some fighters. He said that's crazy because 154 is on fire right now. Yeah, it is, but just think about it. Right now, because we talking about the Charlo twins, how long removed in your mind have they been? I'm like, I haven't talked about it in so long. So it seems like it's been longer than the year since they fought. With the injuries and all this kind of stuff, and for Hyphy to say they just fought last September, it's just now coming up on a year for Mexican Independence Day. So shoot, I guess I'm just not used to it being so quiet where you can hear them when you can hear them talking noise and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, man. It's like I said, they just don't got no type of momentum for him. Jamal, nobody has like hope for him. The one fight, well, two fights. He had the Canelo fight that he had been attached to for so long. Everybody knows that ship has sailed. He at least had the Andre fight to fall back on, where that ship is, been sailed for a few years now. So it's like he don't even have that one fight that you could really see him like a legacy defining fight. He don't even have that anymore. So it's kind of like just over for him. And then, just looking at him right now, you don't really see him. You don't really even like have belief that he's willing to make a comeback or wanting to make a comeback. His last fight was against Jose Benavidez Jr. And mind you, that's supposed to be like a super duper tune up. You like them type of fights, you're supposed to be able to have like 4 of them type of opponents in 1 year if you trying to shake rust off and come back. But then what happens? He goes out of boxing for a year again. So it's like, what, you gonna need another tune up? You know what I'm saying? Like he already, like after that fight you seen, he needed a couple more tune ups before he got a Canelo fight. So it's like he just added more time onto that. This dude need like 4 tune-ups in 1 year just to even get back. And ain't no type of motion happening for him.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. We just have to see what they do and how it unfolds for them. At first, I thought we got a couple of glimpses of them. They showed their faces. I was like, okay, maybe they're getting ready to come back and try to start their second part of the run. But apparently, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Now, I want to just keep on this segue. We heard back in, what was it, like March, like late or early April, that Spence versus Fundora, they had agreed to fight.
Right.
Since then we ain't never heard anything about an official venue. No official press conference, no nothing. Go on.
Actually, I saw Fundora. I ran across him in an interview earlier today, and he was speaking about they were speaking about his negotiations going on for his next fight, and they mentioned the name Spence, and Fundora was like, "Yeah, I think that's the name that we're gonna be fighting. We just trying to wait." He pretty much, in my opinion, kind of let the cat out the bag. So yeah, they probably are negotiating right now, trying to get things together. Because he did mention that he thinks that that's the name that he's going to be fighting, is Spence. So that's the only thing I've heard lately of it. And that was him in the interview. Like I said, he was getting ready to watch his sister fight.
So to make you wonder, between April and now, it's like you still negotiating. So
no, remember they both Fundora had to wait because I think he had a broken nose, and Spence was also not medically cleared for something.
Yeah.
So that set things back.
But you could at least been negotiating during that time. You see what I'm saying? Like setting up a fight. So it's like, damn, they still at the point where they're negotiating. So that I mean, based on what you just said about today's interview, that would make me believe that October date is definitely not happening. Possibly November, maybe even December. But I don't think that October date is happening.
Well, you never know. they might be keeping stuff up under wraps. We just have to sit back and wait for the surprise. Because I even seen Leonard Ellerby talking about Tank, and he was being so cloak and dagger with when the fight's supposed to be happening for Tank, talking about you all to know when Tank's ready. And I'm like, come on, just let us when he and who he fight. But everybody playing the cloak and dagger game right now. Eric also Spence has yet to name a trainer. Yeah, we still don't know who he training with. Would it be something if we look up at him and Derrick James still together? Because he paid him.
Mentioning brother Abdul, I feel his team, they shouldn't focus on trying to prepare for maybe any backlash because it's not going to be a big fight as they maybe have wanted it to be, a la Loma and Shakur, because they just came back off an impressive win, and people love knockouts, so they're not in a bad state if they come out with an opponent that maybe not known to the masses or the hardcore boxing fans don't approve of. They don't have to worry about that because at least they could put on a good showing. So they don't got the same issues that Shakur has. So if I was them, I wouldn't worry about trying to keep the revealing the opponent secretive or even the negotiations. I wouldn't worry about that because, hey, whoever likes Devontae, brother Abdul, they gonna watch him because he produces exciting fights.
Yeah, that's true. But it's probably how everybody right now is fighting for eyes. They fighting for people to pay attention to them, and it might who knows, they might do like the UFC and decide to battle Canelo like they doing, and they might put their fights on somewhere close to the time of the other fights and see who's really pulling fans and who's not. Now, that could always be a possibility. Because you got to remember, these promotional companies are still fighting with each other, quiet as it's kept. Well, I don't know about Golden Boy. I don't know what to say about them.
Oh, I know. I just remember something else, a topic that I was thinking about. Okay, did you hear? Or there was an interview where Turkey stated that he wanted to lower the price of pay-per-view to, I think it was like about 20 quid in the UK and about $20 in America. Did you hear about that?
No, that's new to me. But if he could pull it off, I'm sure a lot of fans would be happy. I don't know how many of the cheap ones are actually paying by fights, but that would be a significant decrease in the price.
Yeah, and that same interview, he was quoted saying that some people just don't buy the pay-per-views because they're priced too high. And of course, you and I both know in the American market, these pay-per-views, they didn't crept up to, now it's like base like $89.99, I think is the standard. Well, me and you, we remember when it was, $49.99 and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do remember paying the $50 fight sometime, every once in a while you might see one pop up to maybe 70.
Yeah.
Then Floyd Mayweather took it to a whole nother level when they start being right at 100 and change. And I think these boys think they could duplicate the same thing, but I'm like, y'all don't have Floyd's flair or panache, his personality, his skills, and it's apparent his business sense.
Yeah, so I feel like that would hurt brother Abdul a lot if Turkey, let's just say like if he made the Shakur pay-per-view $20, but then they gonna brother Abdul, he gonna fight on PBC, Amazon Prime, and their fight be $89.99. Oh, that's gonna hurt his fight a lot.
Just see how like I said, it could be a move. We just have to see what happens. But can you imagine? He would, I don't know how much money he would have to spend to pull that off. to drop the price of pay-per-view. Yeah, that's a fight on his hands. That'd be a fight on his hands, just like it was a fight when Eddie Hearn say pay-per-view was dead. The zone was gonna kill pay-per-view, and they turned around and started having pay-per-views.
Yeah, because at least Aram did acknowledge that the pay-per-view prices was too high, so I believe they lowered the price for Haney versus Lomachenko. Turkey is saying that the pay-per-view prices are too high, so they're at least acknowledging that it's definitely a challenge because the people just are not buying it, and they at least willing to try to get people to buy it. So I respect it, but yeah, him making that move, I could definitely see that hurting PBC on Prime pay-per-views.
Man, only time will tell. I just want to see these boys fight. And once again, they kind of end up getting spread out. Got to see what's going to happen with Shakur, where he's at, because he dealing with Hearn right now. I'm guessing I'm thinking the Tank's going to fight the guy that beat Pitbull. That's who I'm hoping he fight. But he 140. I'm tripping.
Yeah. Look,
I keep forgetting that he.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I keep forgetting that he 140 and not 135. I forgot Pitbull had went up. I don't know why that keeps slipping my mind. Eric also say Turkey has to be creative, otherwise Shakur's first pay-per-view would be a massive failure. Well, see, that's the crazy part. Why they set it up like that? Unless he's trying to prove a point. I don't know. I don't get this business move at all.
I mean, it's kind of like it was set up to be a failure one way or another. I mean, you work with the guy, you're not going to put him in a fight that people actually want to see. And yeah, it's just, you're already starting off bad. But I mean, just think about this, MZ. If you want to give Shakur $5 million for this type of opponent, what do you really think he's gonna want or even be willing to accept to fight William Zepeda or an opponent like that? A Lomachenko, if he had a Lomachenko fight offered to him, a Sugar Ray Muay fight to him, like what is he going to want to fight those types of opponents?
Ain't no telling. But if Bob Aaron got something to do with it, that kind of price tag ain't gonna float. Bob ain't coming off no money like that.
Yeah.
Let me put my order in real quick.
Oh, she about to order. You online shopping?
No, my son getting ready to go get something. I'm waiting for him to tell me where he going so I can put mine in.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But yeah, that's it's just the stuff I be thinking about. Like, if just imagine what Shakur is going to want to fight when it's actually a tough fight, and then we're not talking about the one fight that he claims to want the most, the brother Abdul fight. But yeah, them is just things to think about. So yeah, this
one make one the combo. Oh, my bad.
No, keep going. Just you probably just got to mute yourself. But yeah, this them is the things that I be thinking about. And I feel like Jaron is probably in the same boat. Paying a minimum of $3 million. You do that to secure the fighter, but you got to remember you got to pay the opponent as well, and it's probably seeming like a challenge to do if you understand what your budget is.
It kind of seemed like with Eddie Hearn, though, when it come down to it, he tried to, he'd pay those guys, but he ended up putting them on a fighting guys from overseas, from across the pond. Because right now, I don't know how he gonna work it. I can't see how he gonna work it. I'm not even trying to wreck my mind on it, but right now, Boots is in a situation. Eddie Hearn, I think they talking about moving up. So maybe we finna see Boots move up to 54. That would make Norman's prediction come true and him not becoming undisputed in 147.
Right. Hey, and that Brian Norman did say Jaron will never become undisputed at 147 as long as they there. Because one way or another, you got to come get their belt. That was another one of his arguing points. One way or another, you got to come get the belt from us. So you gonna pay.
So I thought he was actually trying to say, I thought he was making the point saying that, none of the champions, none of the guys that's holding belts are willing to talk to you at the amount of money you're talking about. That's what I thought he was getting at. So that's why he wasn't going to make undisputed. I guess you can look at it either way. You're going to pay us to get this belt, or none of the champions are bothering with you because you're not really offering nothing. Gives you both sides to look at.
Yeah, one way or another, you gonna pay. That's what he said. Y'all gonna have to pay us.
Speaking of Shakur, I think he's gonna have to have a great boxing exhibition. I'm talking about one of those kind of shows where you like, he just put hands all on that dude, all over that dude. There's still gonna be some people that's gonna complain. Eric, I'll say if I'm Boots, I'd go up to 154 and allow Norman to make a name for himself till he ready to come up. If they did the dance one time, they'll probably end up doing the dance again. This time if they do it if they end up coming back to the table, keep your mouth shut. Don't tell don't put out in the public what the negotiations are going on and what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Keep that behind closed doors. If you can't come to agreements at the fight, just let it be said as that. We couldn't come to an agreement right now. You ain't got to talk about what was offered and what was not, because, like I said, it's going to be a lot of people that's going to say that 1.7 sound real good opposed to 750. You fight Boots, that's a scalp. If you're talking legacy, if you're really talking about you want to have legacy up on you building a legacy, Boots is not a good name to have under your belt as that you beat him. That's a hell of a good name. Brian got to come on now, y'all. If y'all saying y'all legacy fighters, that's a legacy move. Boots is a good name. 1.7 ain't bad at all, especially if we beat Boots. So many people will be riding you. The boxing world you'll be a new little darling in the boxing world. Then you'll have some lights on you. People will start paying attention to you. But right now, you just sound like you whining.
To Eric's last comment, just keep in mind, if he moves up to 154, now you paying a non-title holder who is, let's just say according to them, has been avoided in most of their careers. So that means the champions are not going to be seeking out to fight him. You paying a non-title holder who people don't want to fight $3 million. Just let that sink in. And you still got to pay his opponents.
Who getting $3 million is non-title holder?
Well, Jaron is getting a minimum of $3 million per fight on his Matchroom deal. So if he were to vacate and move up to 154, that would be the terms. So keep that in mind.
Well, everybody, got to stand on their square at some point or another. It's some things you said you wanted to do. Try to get it done. I remember people was making fun of Earl Spence, saying that he wasn't really about that life. He wasn't really trying to be undisputed. Then he turned around and gave us that fight. These are the things that I'm looking for from these guys. If Boots, in my opinion, he'd do better at 154, but because he put it out there that he wanted to be undisputed at 147 and then go to 154 and do it, then this kind of hold up
regardless of what side is on, this kind of hold up is not good for his run at 147 for that. You know what I'm saying? You got three guys. You know who all the champions are. You can line their asses up right now and go ahead and get it done and over with. You ain't trying to make them super rich. I understand that, you know, but come to the table, give a little something to get what you want. Hell, Earl said he gave to get that fight. Everybody got to give a little something to get something. Floyd Mayweather didn't get to become Money Mayweather until he gave everything Oscar De La Hoya wanted. I think they look at that history and the things that are laid out in front of them that works and don't take advantage of it. Moody Trayweather in the house. Salute. If Shakur put in the effort Keyshawn puts in his fights, he wouldn't get judged that badly. Well, Shakur feel like he can make a fight easy for himself. That's what he gonna do. He gonna make the fight easy for himself. And no need to go out there and put yourself in harm's way because the crowd wants you to. Yeah, maybe you don't sell out as many stadiums or arenas. Maybe you don't sell as good on pay-per-view. Maybe you might have to fight on regular TV and get the viewer money like that. But if you're trying to be tagged as one of the greatest that ever did it, go ahead and do what you need to do and keep on going. The money part, you know, the fame part and shining in people's eyes, it just ain't gonna come through for everybody. Sonny Liston was a hell of a champion, but you know, a lot of people don't ride with Sonny Liston like that. He just didn't have the charisma that people like. George Foreman wasn't really like that, and when he was a champion as a young champion, his charisma and everything, the George that we know now is light years different from the George from back then. So Shakur's a likable guy. Maybe if he didn't be, as some people would say, so braggadocious, he'll be a little easier to swallow when it comes down to it. But good fighter, I think he's an exceptional fighter, silver medalist and all that. You can't talk down on him. No, he's not getting knockouts like you want, but he winning the fights. And it's boxing. If he can box and not get touched, then that's what it is. We got to accept it. Everybody ain't going to give you knockouts. Everybody ain't taking Deontay Wilder or Beterbiev or these guys lined up like that. Everybody ain't got it like that. Some of them just have to box and win like that.
Yep. I'm gonna throw this out there too. Eddie Hearn, if his thing is making the best fights possible in boxing, well, you can solve both these issues. You got Conor Benn at 147 signed to your stable, and you also got Andy Cruz at 135 in your stable. Nigga, match your fighters up against each other. Nigga, hey, give
Conor Benn,
yeah.
You know, Conor Benn. I don't know what you would say about that. Why, you know, I don't think Conor Benn should be fighting.
Should Eddie Hearn do? He think he should be fighting.
Well, that at some point that kind of do show you how Eddie feels, because you know he talked bad about Jarrell Miller at one time, and then he stood up for somebody else. You know, these are things that happen, and we all know it. So that's why I'm like, sometimes you got to accept the snake that you got to deal with sometimes, and there's no way around it. And seeing that the way the landscape is, you got Turkey Out of Sheik over here who make some deals that looks real good. Some of these guys, it could cause them to get their asses beat because they're not ready. For some people, it could cause them to have more of a sense of their worth. But then I guess that's why it's only certain people that's getting called by him. Then you got the other promotional companies, you know, Bob Arum and Top Rank. Bob ain't trying to spend no money if he could help it. And it looks like Eddie Hearn is trying to make sure that he get the best deal for Matchroom over the fighters. That's just my opinion. It's all about money and who can say the most and make the most out of it. Why these guys go out there and bash each other.
Eric R asked the question. He said, "Wouldn't Boots get a shot at the belt he holds at 147 if he moves up as champion?"
No,
I don't know if he's holding the right belt for that.
Yeah, that's
I
the
thought
thing.
it was the WBO
Brian,
that you have to be holding to do that.
yeah, that's the belt that Brian has. So no, that wouldn't be the case for him. Yeah, so that just wouldn't be the case for him at all.
Huh. That boy, Eric R say Keyshawn punches are equally as fluffy as Shakur's, but he was way more entertaining his last fight. Well, Shakur, he got a fight coming up, and he has a chance to go out there and be really entertaining. I just want to know if the dude go out there and box very well. I mean, put on a classic boxing exhibition. Will people give him his credit, or will they still nitpick against the young man? Like, you can only hold a grudge for so long. Now, I know some people can hold grudges. I mean, really hold them. But the man fight for a living. Sometimes the show ain't going to be as pretty as you want. But he's still winning. Where are the Shakur fans that's supposed to be bagging up? This fighter is still undefeated. They talk bad about him because he had a fight that wasn't glamorous, but he still won. I'm stifled at that.
Man, forget Shakur, Keyshawn. That's Eddie's problem. Trying to figure out what to do with him and knowing he gonna want $5 million per fight. Yeah, that's on Eddie, bro. Yeah, good luck on turning a profit.
Well, ain't he only on one fight deal with Eddie, and the fight is already set up?
Yeah, but now if they'll say, okay, well, we want to work long term with you. Like, what do you think Shakur is gonna do? Say, okay, I'll set the 3.5 million deal. No, of course he's not gonna want to do that.
Well, you never know. If he go out there and have a master class, like I said, then maybe he'll try to bargain a little different. But if you could be guaranteed just 3 every fight, do you really not take that? Isn't that what Devin did?
That's a huge difference compared to 5, right?
It is a huge difference, but it's a guarantee. It ain't a hassle. I don't have to sit here and argue with you every time we come to the table to get ready to make a fight. You already know what you're working with me. You already know exactly what you got to get me. All you got to do is figure out what to give them. So I can see how that could be, a plus. Especially knowing the landscape and who Eddie represents. So yeah, go ahead. You really don't have access to certain fighters. So go ahead and hook me up with that 3.3. Give me a couple of whoever you got. Let me go and handle them, tighten them up real quick, and collect that easy money.
Man, I just think it's too late for that. Like, I just don't see how. Like, you don't want the nigga to now you want to sign him to a long-term deal and you want him to take less, Like, what you want to sign him to a long-term deal for then?
That's if, you know what I'm saying, you still got to think. You still got to think. Shakur still have to go out there and show and prove. Now, if he go out there and show and prove with Eddie clamoring to sign him for a little longer, then that automatically should let you know you got a little bargaining power. You got some negotiation power if they chomping at the bit to sign you. So yeah, you don't be a fool. Go in there with your hard hat on and be lawyered up so you can understand exactly what needs to be said. Hold on one second, Haji. That's my boy.
Yeah, Shakur ain't about to show and prove shit. I mean, it ain't no way that like he gonna impress the fans this time because like this time all the people that know boxing, they looking at it like, okay, now you going in there with an opponent who just got knocked out by a nigga who don't even punch like that, and now he moving up in weight. So it's like, yeah, like Shakur impressing, like nah, they not gonna be impressed, even if Shakur treat him like he did Robson Conceição. Them people are not gonna be impressed. Now you could impress well, just what y'all call the casual fans, but like how many casual people is turning in to watch Shakur right now when his last two fights have not been anything worth you returning to as far as at home a televised viewership. So yeah, I you know what I'm saying, I just like it's gonna be hard to have everybody walk away from a Shakur fight saying we was impressed. So yeah, I don't know. I just don't see it. I said this Eddie Hearn problem. He got to figure out this shit because it just like ain't no way to come out on a winning end if you Eddie Hearn. Nigga like you about to lose on this one. That nigga was tripping offering Shakur that much money. That nigga tripping like a motherfucker. And that's a co-main event. Nigga, you don't want him to fight against Sugar Ray Messiah as the main event. A much dangerous fight in a main event. Expect that nigga to take less than 5. Hell no, that nigga gonna want like 7. You'll be winning if you get that nigga to take 5 for that fight. And that's likely not gonna happen.
I'm back. My bad.
Yeah.
He got my card, and he called you like, Dad, I'm swiping the card. The card ain't working. I'm like, what? Hold up. I know we tripping. So I'm telling you, sure you got the code? So I pull up the card, and it hadn't went through yet at the first place he went through. So it was holding up the payment. This damn technology sucked. But you talking about Shakur not wanting to take you. What I'm saying is he could take it because once again, if Eddie is after this fight, oh Shakur, we want to sign you. You look great and all this kind of stuff. The Shakur got, he got something to come to the table with. He could bump that number up as a guarantee a little more.
Nah, you ain't feeling me. Nigga, that number, yeah, he could bump. I'm talking about bumping up from the 5. Nigga, that 5 needs to turn into like a 5.7, if not 6. Nigga, not know you talking about 3.13. Hell, I'm not going backwards. Nigga, you just gave me 5, and you want to mess with me some more long term. Nigga, we
this
going.
fight is sending me 5.
Hell yeah, 5 million a fight.
Then that's the starting number. If you work your jelly on that,
yeah.
Hell, right now that's a good business move on Shakur's side.
Hey, give that nigga 5 million to fight Joe Cordino.
Well, Eddie feels like maybe Eddie feels like he finna. Is Shakur holding the belt or anything?
Yeah, I mean he got a belt, but
maybe he think he finna unass him off that belt.
Nah.
Hey, you never know. It's a lot of money that you're talking about going from back and forth. Eddie Hearn is a promoter. Who Cordino signed with?
Eddie.
Okay, so it kind of makes it that it's not too far fetched. It's not too far fetched that Eddie could be looking at it like, shit. Your last fight, you didn't do too good. You was running. Cordino, I think Cordino could probably catch you. Who knows? Maybe even stop you. Now I got a champion. And I only had to deal with you for one fight deal. I'm just saying.
Well, if you got that, if you got that mindset, then I mean, if Shakur win, you can't try to mess with him no more because, nigga, like I said, what he gonna expect? So yeah, you done shot yourself in the foot with that.
Well, the beauty about that is you don't publicly let it be known that you ride with Cordino like that. Even though it's gonna be evident because this is your guy, Shakur is here for one fight deal. He's not quite your guy yet. Terrence Crawford made sense to that when he spoke about how Heyman making sure that he had everything good for Spence. He gonna look out for his guy first, then you come second. Eddie been in the game long enough. He grew up around the game, and I think he crafty enough to know what he's trying to do and how to make his moves. So, with that being said, if Shakur getting $5 million for this fight, here, Shakur. God dang, good move. $5 grand. I mean, $5 million for you say Cordita like it's a joke, but hell, $5 million for anybody right now is a good stepping in the ring for one fight.
And that's why Brian Norman, they over there looking at it like, nigga, you giving Shakur $5 million for a fight? That's a joke. Nigga, we asking you to give us like half of that, nigga, for a fight that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's supposed to be a real tough fight for us. They got to at least give us half of that.
Yeah, but you know he could throw out there and be like, "What have you done?" Shakur is Shakur got hardware. Shakur got you know he's a champion in more than one division. He's a Olympic silver medalist. That's the baby world beater. People just not getting hip to Brian Norman. So that popularity part, it plays a big part in it. People got to know you before you could just start demanding money, because they'll be looking at it like, where you come from and why is you asking for this? Like you said, if my daughter was to hear about it, she'd probably be like, who is this dude, Dad? He could fight, but what he did, you know, that question seems to be a good question that follows with, he could fight, but what he did, who he beat up. That go a long way for a lot of people. You got to beat up somebody before you start asking for these big dollars.
Yeah, Shakur ain't beat up nobody, and he already getting them big dollars.
But when he was smaller, he was beating up people.
But I thought this boxing stuff, it's about, you know, what can you generate for me moving forward in the future?
Well, right now he might be a little stagnant, but he had generated enough to make people be like, oh, Shakur get to 135, it's gonna be going down. You know, that's how people looked at it. It's not like he gone from 135, and you know, Tank still is at 135. It's not like those two planets are gonna still keep missing each other. We don't really know what's going on in the settings, but we know Tank and Shakur ain't on the table right now because Cordina finna help Shakur get $5 million. Now it's gonna be a race to see, oh, Tank made this much. This is the star being that now. I almost hate that I know he be getting $5 million.
Right. Hell yeah. It's about to start being that. You already know.
That's all it ever is. A whole bunch of talking before they get their asses in the ring.
Yeah, and gave this nigga $5 million. Nigga, hey, let them try let Matchroom try to make Shakur versus Loma. Nigga, they next fight. Hell yeah, Loma gonna be like, I want the same thing. Like,
is
whatever
Loma coming back?
I don't know, but if he do, he gonna tell them whatever Shakur getting, I want the same thing. Nigga, hey, Shakur, they need me more than I need them.
Huh.
Yeah, that's how Loma gonna play it. Nigga, Loma know damn well the fans was not excited to see you fight Joe Cordina. They don't want to see you fight Kambosos because I already whipped Kambosos. Nigga, y'all need me. Nigga, so you gonna have to put some grams on that scale.
Well, we're gonna see how they pull it off.
Yeah. See, this dumbass move Eddie Hearn pulling, it's backfired on him. I would have rather just paid them niggas low if I was gonna be in the same position. If I know the opponent gonna want the same thing that I'm giving my fighter, yeah, I'd rather just have to give this nigga like 1.8 million, and then have to give the opponent the same thing instead of 3 million.
Well,
That's
they the geniuses. We just get the chance to sit back and pick at what they move and how they move from afar. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's frustrating. And when the fight get made, it's glorious. But when it goes through dips and turns like this, it sucks, and it sucks bad.
That's why they're saying there's more money, more problems. Damn right.
You went to two gas stations? You went to the back in the back of the hood corner store?
Oh.
But hey, yeah, I know y'all about to get into some food. It sound like so shit.
No problem.
We can probably cut it down, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna shut it down. But we gotta watch some games because Friday we'll be back to give some breakdowns on what our girls are doing in the WNBA.
Yeah, you already know, man. I stay tapped in on that side, so that's my job. So
I
yeah,
feel you, Clarence. I feel you.
yeah, there we go. So yeah, I'll catch you behind the scenes or some over the next few days.
Okay, that's for sure.
All right, y'all. We out.
All right, everybody. Peace. I appreciate those that came through. And anybody listening to us on the replay, keep that thumbs up, and I appreciate you stopping by, spending time. Because you could have been doing anything else, but you chose to come and chill with us. Joseph Brown say, thank God for the Rookie of the Year, Caitlin. We'll be bringing her up come Friday. Holla.